into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning to you, South Africa. Welcome to it. Yes, it is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3, the absolute best of Feel Good TV. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us this morning. It is a brand new day, a new chance for us to all go out and chase our dreams. The 17th of September 2019. My name is Thabiso Makubela. It's been a while. It's been a while. I know you've been wondering, but I am back. By popular demand. It's going to be so much fun, and we're doing this all the way through to 9 o'clock, which means that between now and 9, you can expect nothing but feel good. But of course, today we're not riding solo. We've got our friend, my friend, a friend of the show, a family friend, Carl Wasty. He's going to be joining us throughout the morning, keeping us entertained, and I'm riding alongside Leanne Williams as well. So connect with us on social media all throughout the show. Let us know what you're getting up to. In fact, as we start the day today, we've asked you a question on Facebook. Our first post for the day is all about authenticity. Authenticity is the big conversation for today, and it's about asking you what makes you authentic and what attributes of yours you think stand out in order to make you authentic. So the post is, good morning. It's so important to be authentic. What attributes make you stand out in a crowd? Let us know on Facebook. It's Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Of course, connect with us on Twitter as well at Expresso Show using the hashtag Expresso Show all throughout the show. We've got a jam-packed show. We're doing so much. The stuff we're making in the kitchen, the conversations we're having around skin conditions, the movies we're going to be checking out. It's all a lot, and we invite you to be a part of all of it. And right now, let's check in with the rest of the team. Leanne and Carl, what's happening that side?
Well,
Good morning.
Yes, were you just busy with your lipstick now?
Yes,
Okay,
I was busy with it because this is the beauty room.
Yeah.
So we put those finishing touches, touches.
Thank
Brilliant.
you. Oh,
Brilliant.
my word.
I'm Leanne Williams. This is the one and only Mr. Carl Wasty. How are you doing, Carl?
You just called me a hotel, one and only, but it's cool. It's actually very cool to be here. It's lovely to have every single individual. I mean, like Thabiso, it's so good to see you, my brother.
Yes,
and
I missed you.
She got the lipstick vibe going on as well. And I'm sure you're wondering today, if it's a beauty room, we have to kind of educate as to what type of weather you should be getting into.
Yes.
So the thing is, just to kind of educate your wardrobe for the day, we have to guide you. Now, let's start off. Can we start off in Johannesburg?
That'd be great.
Because thank goodness Johannesburg is sunny today. We're looking at those conditions that can be expected for the majority of the day, and with very warm temperatures towards the evening. You've got some cloud cover, and humidity does decrease a bit, little to no wind. So I'm suggesting layers and layers if you're on Joburg today. Then of course you have Durban, and Durban naturally humidity is kind of high there, but times of clouds and sunshine. It sounds like a quotation, you know, a quote for the day, with a southerly wind that dies down towards the afternoon. As the evening approaches, partly cloudy conditions are expected, and temperatures remain between 19 and 24 if you are interested. So 24 degrees your high today. I'm thinking maybe a vest, try something different. Why not? What else do we have? We've got some PE weather.
I would love PE
and
weather.
Port Elizabeth, very friendly place as well. So the weather's also looking friendly on that side. Mainly sunny conditions in Port Elizabeth with a couple of clouds throughout the day, and beautiful temperatures as well. A light breeze is expected, as everybody requires, when kind of nature switches the aircon on, and then increasing cloudiness in the evening. Humidity does remain high. And then Cape Town, an abundance of sunshine. Once again, I feel like weather's in tweets today, with a southerly wind for the entire day, humidity increasing as the day progresses, and cloud cover increases, and a warm sunset expected.
Ooh,
that's right.
I love that. I love that. The weather's been a bit, on and off of late, but I think that this is the direction that we're moving into. That's why I've opted for what I'm wearing today.
I'm liking this color. Now I'm thinking, I thought it was electric tangerine, but you're about to tell me what it really is, though.
Well, you know what Coco Chanel once said, a girl should be two things, classy and fabulous. And boy, don't we just look fabulous today. We are only at the beginning of the season, but we've already seen some really key trends for spring and summer 2019. Now, there's a lot of prints, bright colors, light fabrics, summer dresses, and I have to say that we're seeing quite a lot of romantic blouses this season as well. But when it comes to what works for me, you have to pick fabrics and colors that suit your skin tone. So I decided to keep it a bit more classy today. say.
Yeah,
and burnt orange, the
Yes.
deep reds, those kind of colors really complement my skin tone. It exaggerates all the right curves, and it's very on trend when it comes to summer dresses. I like a real power woman in a classy Woolworths dress. So I'm going to do a bit of a stand-up
You have
for
to do this, though.
Okay. So what I love about it, this dress, okay, take a look at this. It comes with these kind of tassels over here. You simply cinch them around your waist, around the back, and tie them around the front, and boom, look at what you've got there, you know? Or you could simply just even tie it around the back, and you could have a bow, so it kind of goes both ways. You know? Really
Versatility.
nice.
I love this.
I love things that are
because
versatile.
You want to
and
change
fun
it up.
and flirty, and as long as it cinches around the waist, it's a nice length over here. These mid-length dresses are very, very flattering as well. They cut you in the right places, and it's absolutely wonderful.
You look amazing though, and I mean, great choice. I thought it was electric tangerine. Turns out that it is burnt orange.
Yeah, well, we'll go with electric tangerine.
Yes,
I like that
please do.
more.
You guys look absolutely gorgeous, and that means for me the mood is set. We're ready to get into this Tuesday on that note. So think about this. At this time of the morning, you want to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, nice in and out. Yeah, you can already tell it makes such a huge difference, and that's exactly what motivates our quote for today. And our quote for today is proudly brought to us by our friends over at Neurobian, and it says, "Be active each day and find time to do a few breathing exercises, and you will treat yourself to more focus, having more energy, relaxation, and being a happier you." It's all about taking some time out in those really, really busy days, taking a deep breath, just being conscious and breathing in the moment, and just allowing yourself to relax, to be more focused, and to be so much more energetic. Thank you so much, our friends at Neurobian. On that note, let's get this show on the road. Leanne Williams is on standby with the news.
Thank you so much, Tabby. So in the national news this morning, South African soldiers will patrol gang-ridden Cape Town streets for an extra 6 months. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday extended their deployment to the end of March 2020. The South African National Taxi Council says it welcomes the Commission of Inquiry appointed by Gauteng Premier David Makhura to look into the taxi violence in the province. It says the outcomes of the commission will help bring transformation and peace to the industry. Now moving further abroad, Tanzania's President John Magufuli yesterday launched a new radar system at the country's main Julius Nyerere International Airport in the city of Dar es Salaam. It is one of 4 new radar systems Tanzania has recently acquired that will help improve security. The U.S. has issued satellite images and cited intelligence to back its allegation that Iran was behind attacks on major Saudi oil facilities. The incident has cut global oil supplies by 5%, and prices have seen the biggest one-day rise since the 1991 Gulf War. And finally, a nightmare so real caused a Californian woman to swallow her engagement ring while having a nightmare on a speeding train. Now, 29-year-old Jenna Evans recalls she did so to protect the 2.4-carat ring from the bad guys who haunted her in her sleep next to her fiancé Bobby. Then she woke and realized what she'd done. She woke Bobby, and they had made a beeline for the hospital. X-rays identified the ring in her stomach, but doctors said it would be unwise to let nature take its course. Later, after the operation, she woke crying hysterically and clutching her ring. She explained, "I cried a lot because I would be so mad if I had died. I waited a long time for this darn engagement ring." Whew, Jenna. She's a vibe, that girl. Anyways, let's find out what's happening in the world of sport with Carl.
Time for your sporting action for the morning. South Africa's fastest woman, Karina Horn, has been provisionally suspended and will not be competing in the IAAF World Championships after allegedly using a banned substance. On to football. PSL side Chippa United has parted ways with head coach Clinton Larson following their 2-1 defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Orlando Stadium over the weekend. And on to rugby news. Springbok Sevens head coach Neil Powell was forced to make a late change to the team heading to the upcoming Oktoberfest Sevens after Ryan Oosthuizen suffered a back strain and will be replaced by Sako Makata. That's it for your sport for now. On to the weather.
Money.
Thank you very much, Wasty. And now we take a look at those temperatures, but first we take a look at those sunrise pictures. We've asked you to send them through, and you have. Thank you so much, Samuel Jacobs, for sending us your sunrise from Beaufort West out in the Western Cape, where an abundance of sunshine can be expected with very warm temperatures, reaching a maximum of 33 degrees. Thank you so much for that. Fatah Khan also sent us his sunrise picture from Richards Bay, where partly sunny conditions can be expected with little to no wind and hot temperatures, reaching a maximum of 32 degrees. Stunning pictures. You too can do exactly the same by sending them through to us on our Facebook page. It's Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Use the hashtag Expresso Show. And now on to those temperatures, starting off in Polokwane, a low of 13 today, reaching a high of 29 degrees. If you're out in Mbombela, 16, your low peaking at 28 degrees. Pretoria, capital city, 14 and 29, with plenty of sunshine expected for Johannesburg, with 13, your low reaching a high of 29 degrees. It's nice and sunny out in Mahikeng, Bokoni Bophirima, 16, reaching a high of 33 degrees. If you're out in Klerksdorp, clear skies for you today, 12, your low reaching a high of 34. Kimberley, 13, peaking at 33. Nice and sunny out in Bloemfontein today, 6, reaching a high of 30, with high humidity for Richards Bay, 21, your low reaching highs of 25 degrees. If you're out in Pietermaritzburg, it's 14 and 31 for you. Nice and sunny in South Africa's playground, Durban, 19, reaching a high of 28 degrees. If you're out in Mthatha, 10 and 33 for you, with high humidity expected for East London, 15, your low reaching a high of 28. Craddock, 8 is your low, reaching a high of 32, with Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 13, reaching a high of 22. George, 13 and 21. And the lowest temperatures in the country today, that's for you, Sutherland, 4 is your low, reaching a high of 24, with Cape Town starting off at 14, peaking at 21 degrees today. And a southwesterly wind of 11 kilometers per hour is expected for Worcester, that's 10, reaching a high of 28. It's nice and sunny out in Springbok. Take it all in today. 15, your low, reaching a high of 33, with the highest temperatures in all of South Africa. Uppington, 16, your low, reaching that high of 38 degrees. That's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour. Those pictures through to us on our Facebook page. Use the hashtag Expresso Show.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Tabiso. Time for us to get our very first cup of the morning. This is the moment that I wait for. This delicious cup of coffee. Sis Princess,
hello.
You know our Facebook post this morning says it's very important to be authentic. What attributes make you stand out in a crowd, Sis Princess?
Wow.
Your smile!
Yes, my smile.
Wonderful.
Agreed.
I love it. I love it. And you, Carl?
Well, I mean, obviously my eyebrows.
Your eyebrows.
Yeah,
Wonderful
that
stuff.
definitely makes me stick out.
Do you know what makes me stand out? Those 100% Arabica beans in the Macafe coffee.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can I have some?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't
We'll
wait.
be right back after
Can't
the
wait.
break.
Thank you.
Taste loved by those who have tried it. Macafe, great coffee, simple. See you after the break. Only you can make my day.
That bitch don't know what attribute means. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm ready.
Tabiso, just clear your mic. Just clear your mic. How's it? Cool.
220.
One take one, Tabiso. You got this.
You can't read. But it's fine. I was fine for a whole week. 5, 4, 3, 2.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to it. It is Expresso time for us to take a look at those global news headlines. Ivory Coast and Ghana, the world's largest exporters of cocoa, have made an agreement or agreed on a deal to sell the commodity with an additional living income premium of $400 a ton added to the price. The scheme aims to work with the world's chocolate makers in making sure farmers are lifted out of poverty. Ivory Coast and Ghana produce 2/3 of the world's cocoa beans, but the volatile price of the crop often means that the growers, many of whom are very small-scale small-scale farmers have to accept low prices. Courtrooms across Cameroon were empty yesterday as lawyers embarked on a 5-day strike. They're protesting about alleged abuses against them and their clients committed, they say, by law enforcement officers. They say lawyers have been physically assaulted and denied access to their clients. They also complain about exorbitant court charges, the trial of accused persons in a language they do not understand, and the use of torture and inducements to extract confessions. The Bar Council insists the strike is necessary to force the government to act on its demands. Tanzania's President John Magufuli yesterday launched a new radar system at the country's main Julius Nyerere International Airport in the city of Dar es Salaam. It is one of 4 new radar systems the East African nation has recently acquired that will help improve security. Last month, a new terminal was opened at the airport, which is expected to increase traffic to at least 6 million annually. Tanzania is home to 2 renowned tourism destinations, Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, and wildlife-rich national parks, such as the Serengeti. Cool.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to talk a little bit of tech daily news. I love the world of technology.
Yeah.
It's constantly changing. I don't know, however, if I'm comfortable at the pace at which it changes sometimes.
We have to move with it, though. I think that as tech gets more and more advanced, that it makes our lives easier. But then again, there's got to be support for the technology so we can understand it, though. And I think one thing about that tech that I do enjoy is that when you get to a place that has stronger Wi-Fi, and that's why the Wi-Fi Alliance, the organization that oversees implementation of the Wi-Fi standard, is launching its official Wi-Fi 6 certification program this week. That might not sound, like boring, but it does sound a bit boring if you actually think about it. Like, wow, Wi-Fi 6 is coming out, but what does that mean? It means the Wi-Fi 6 standard is truly ready to go, and tech companies will soon be able to advertise their products, mostly brand new ones, as certified to properly support Wi-Fi 6. So Wi-Fi 6 includes a bunch of new technologies that combine together to make Wi-Fi more efficient, which is so important. And this is particularly important because of just how many devices we all have these days. It's not unusual for a family to have a dozen or more gadgets all connected to a Wi-Fi network at once. As you know, the home scenario, it's different today. It looks like the dense deployment of yesterday. And that's the thing about Wi-Fi in a home. You've got the one playing Fortnite, the other one that's on Facebook, the other one's doing this and that. So, I mean, it's actually really a great news. So the point of Wi-Fi 6 is to boost speeds within a crowded network. Thank goodness the theoretical maximum speed for Wi-Fi is increasing, and this is to 9.6 gigabytes per second from 3.5 gigabytes per second. So this is going to be huge, massive, and if you are a Fortnite player, you're going to be so excited.
Exactly. Well, when is it coming here? That's the question.
Yeah, we hope soon. We really do.
How about this one? The world's biggest and maybe the most controversial social network, Facebook, wants to launch its own cryptocurrency called Libra. However, it's not that easy. Facebook is undergoing further scrutiny for its Libra cryptocurrency and may have to answer some really difficult questions as central banks around the world are starting to ask questions and want to know how Libra will influence their economies. Now, in response, Libra reiterated earlier its stance that says welcomes the engagement with politicians and regulators, that it deliberately sets out a long launch schedule to discuss issues and modify its plans based on feedback. So they're all about that. They're like, let's open up the conversation. Now, Facebook has pitched Libra as a way to democratize money, providing banking to many first-timers and creating a format that's independent of any one country. Now, while Libra is a stable coin that should be pegged to the value of conventional currency, it could give Facebook and the Libra Association a tremendous amount of clout if it does eventually take off. So I love the fact that they said there's a long launch.
Yeah.
They're open to discussion, because I feel when it comes to Facebook, let's discuss. Yeah? Hey, they've been in a lot of hot water of late.
And I mean, you can only imagine if you look at the amount of people using Facebook, though, that currency may just override many currencies across the world. And that is why it is going to be huge when it comes to our global economies as well. So look out for Libra coming to you soon on a Facebook post near you.
I love that.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword business to 31492 for a call back and quote, and you could be a winner.
So it's gaming time, and this morning we're taking a voyage out into the unknown in some deep, dark waters of our gaming guru, Gareth Woods, who joins us this morning to bring us a review of Man of Medan. Man of Medan, Medan, whichever way you'd like to call it. It is from Dark Anthology, first release of what hopefully will be a long series.
Yeah? So they, at the end of the game, they hint, like they give you a little like sneak preview of what the next one's going to be.
Coming up. All right. So what are we looking at here in terms of gaming style? And gaming genre.
Yeah, so the genre would be kind of like interactive movie, I guess.
Okay.
It's by a group called Supermassive Games. They, I think about 2 years ago, released a game called Until Dawn. And as we see, that's exactly what happens. You've been asked to do something. I'm going to be...
Time limits and
cheerful.
all.
It does have a nice ring.
Okay.
I can't remember what it said, but I've already asked it, like, sparked it on.
It could be completely left of field.
But what happens is, you know, as you interact with each of the characters, you know, the other characters will act positively. So I think I'm in this stage, I'm planning my wedding with my fiance. So now I'm like, let's plan it together, sentimental. There's no like wrong way of doing it. You know what I mean? If your character says, you know, quote unquote, the wrong thing and they end up, you know, dying, if they end up dying, the story continues. It's not like, rats, you did wrong and now you're going to go back to a checkpoint. The story continues. So
multiple outcomes.
For example, the first time I played through, 2 of my characters didn't make it through, managed to save 4 and 2 perished. But I was like, no, I'm going to play again. And then, you know, made different decisions now that I knew a little bit more about the game.
Good grief. So obviously in a genre like this, a lot of storyline, plot twists are possible. That's what makes the game exciting, because I mean, this is not your regular Formula One.
What I loved about the way they've done this one compared to the previous ones is they've actually added a shared mode where you can play with someone online, but also a movie night mode where you and up to 5 players can kind of pass the remote around, so you all get a character. So beforehand, you like choose which character you want to play as. We go like, okay, Kat, you're going to play Conrad, I'm going to play Jesse, and then when it's my turn, we pass the controller. And half the time you're making decisions that impact me. I'm like, no, you're going to
That's a fun way of doing movie night. Imagine they did that for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone would be playing season 8 over and over again.
Exactly, like trying to get the good ending that doesn't exist. I don't know. But what's great is that's actually how people were playing the first game.
Yeah.
And I think they took that feedback to go, hey, let's make it part of how we play the game. You know, the previous one, you were just kind of like pretending. You go, okay, cool, you know, this character's the lead, now you pass it on. This will actually tell you, you know, you're now in charge of this person, okay, your turn. And it, you know, you'll interact with clues, like here I've got this underwater camera, take a look at it if I want, and I can page through some of the shots. Maybe there's some clues there.
Yeah. Something seems moving. Oh, it's something in that water.
So what's happening in the story is you and these other sexy teens are off on you've got to hide this boat and you're a bunch of scuba divers, like enthusiasts.
Okay.
And you find a wreckage there, and that leads you off to this ghost ship where, you know, they're pirates and they're ghosts and all sorts of stuff happening. I won't give away too much of the story, but it is, after all, a thriller.
Yes.
There's like a couple of jump scares.
So you can expect that.
Yeah.
How popular is this kind of gaming genre all across the world? I mean, I wasn't too aware of it until now that you bring me this. And how popular is it?
So I think that, I mean, you can't compare it to like your big blockbuster things because it's too new as a genre. But if I just take how many of them are coming out, that seems to tell me that, you know, they're doing quite well in terms of financially, which then, you know, infers that they're quite popular. The reviews always, you know, do really well. They kind of get like, you know, low 70s, mid 80s in terms of like the gameplay. But I mean, it's like watching a movie, but you get to watch it over and over, and every time you play with someone else, they, you know, have a different way of interpreting the game and playing it. So replayability is quite high as well.
Oh, I was about to say, so you, okay, all right.
I mean, I've played through this 2.5 times already, and that's a 10-hour playthrough each time. So
yeah, because if you think of like the the mapping of how one decision can go that way, it leads you to something else. So any decision can lead you in a multiple.
And sometimes it's direct. It's like, you know, you say something that angers someone and they fight you. But sometimes it's like, because you did something way, way earlier, you don't even have the option to say something nice because your characters are antagonistic.
Yeah.
So your options are like being angry or being slightly less angry, but there's no like, there's no love lost between you because you've already said something earlier that, you know, kind of made them angry.
Do you find that this kind of play kind of brings out people's personalities? You really get to find out who your friends are.
Yeah, maybe.
Play stuff like this with them.
I played it with my wife, and you know, it was interesting, some of the decisions, because it's like sometimes there's that like self-preservation thing. You go like, I'm saving my character, you know, screw you, like, and you're like, come on.
It's like Cards Against Humanity.
100%, exactly.
Brilliant stuff. All right, cool. So it's called Man of Medan.
Yeah.
Man from Medan.
Dark Anthologies, The Man from Medan.
The Man from Medan. All right, so you can give it a try if you are that privileged to have it, and let us know what your thoughts are, and I'm sure all the world of gaming might have a say about it.
Interesting game. Are you a big gamer?
I'm a big gamer, of course, yeah. But I'm more sort of a FIFA guy, football, but when I hear about things like this, I just want to try it.
Yeah. This one makes you feel like it's taking you into like a zone, into a space out of this world that doesn't exist. Speaking of things that exist, authenticity.
Yes,
What does that mean to you?
Authenticity, I must just say, I think it's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but not really sort of interpreted sort of appropriately. But I just feel that if you have a unique selling point and you don't even need to showcase it with words, I think that's authenticity right there. You don't just believe in what you have, and that one special thing doesn't have to be something largely significant in society. I think that's enough.
It's not about trying to be different. It's about just being yourself and letting that come across and letting that come through. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful Tuesday. We're going to be authentic with you till 9 o'clock, so we'll be back after this.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9, or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of R1 million plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Well, time for us to get into the topic that we posted about this morning. It's all about being authentic. With there being a lot of influences in the world telling us how to behave and what to aspire to, it can be hard to retain a sense of self and remain true to oneself and, truly value who you are. This morning, we're joined in studio by registered counsellor Shanaz Moos to talk about the importance of teaching your child to be authentic in today's world. And of course, this morning, we are busy talking about this topic. Shanaz, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I love this talk on authenticity. I think there are truly, like I said, in the world with the rise of social media and everybody showing you what perfection is, what you should aspire to be. It can be highly, highly confusing. But before we go anywhere else, let's unpack the issue. What exactly is authenticity?
Authenticity is actually, for me, Brené Brown is one of the leading authors on authenticity, and she has the best definition, the shortest one.
Yes.
It's actually letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you actually are. That's it, full stop.
That's
I love
powerful.
Brené Brown, I love it.
You're supposed to be and embracing who you actually are.
Full stop. That's it.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
That's a bumper sticker.
Exactly.
It's easy to remember as well,
Fashion.
Absolutely not. I just thought, it's when you have a good quote, you go all retro with it though. But why, in your opinion, is it important to be authentic? Especially as Leanne alluded to, we have social media. We have so many sort of different outside sources that tell us what we need to be. So now more than ever, why is it important to be authentic?
I think it's important because you're going to end up living a life that isn't true to you. So you could be working in a job you don't enjoy, being married to a person you don't necessarily like,
or just that you don't like, not even love. Don't like.
So there's a lot of things around what happens to you when you aren't living the life you're meant to be, and people confuse living the life you're meant to be with success and wealth and Insta fame and all these things. They assume that is it. That's an authentic life. An authentic life is one that you're completely grounded. You wake up every morning. I wake up every morning and I can't wait to do what I do because I love it so much. Maybe because I'm older and I get to choose what I do. But I think that it's about you tapping into you and getting to know yourself. So here's the hard question. A lot of the times, because I see adults in therapy, and when I ask them, what do you like? They sit for like 10 minutes pondering, what's your favorite food? They think. They can list their husband, their children, their mother, their siblings, everyone. What's your favorite color? My mom likes it when I wear red. My husband likes it when I wear black. And then I say, what's your favorite color? Then silence again.
That's powerful. What do you think, Shanaz, is it that causes us to lose our authenticity? I think you touched on a few things, but maybe one or two things that causes us to lose our
There's
authenticity.
only one big thing, and that happens in parenting when we were children.
Wow.
So in our childhood growing up, I don't know about our ages, but we'll just say we're all similar.
We're young, Thank you.
And that in that kind of sphere of needing acceptance, we receive non-acceptance. So everything about us, the way we looked, the way we spoke, how we just presented ourselves wasn't always accepted by our parents and other significant adults like teachers and grandparents and all these things. So over time, the continued non-acceptance. So I always use this expression that we twist ourselves like a pretzel. My favorite thing is a pretzel roll. You twist yourself like a pretzel to fit into the need someone else has, and you do that because you want love and acceptance. So you changed for your parents, you change for the first boy you fall for, you change for the second, you change for your husband, you change for your mother-in-law. You just keep on changing until you're in such a huge knot you can't unknot. And that is where the hard work begins, the unknotting.
Sure. Well, we're going to continue about this unknotting after this, because I want to touch on something that Shanaz was talking about. It really does start at that beginning spot, how we're raised as kids. And I want to find out how exactly we get our children to be more authentic. More on that after this.
We're unpacking it, we are unknotting it, we are just dismantling the whole thing. Connect with us on social media and let us know what you think, what your thoughts are. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 on Facebook and Twitter at Expresso Show. The hashtag is Expresso Show. Time now for us, though, to check out what movies are out there and trailers that JP Sebastian has been going out, spending time on to bring to you here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Angry Birds, the movie 2. Check this out.
All right, you get started on the lockdown sequence. I'm gonna hit the John.
Yes, sir.
We gotta get that key card. Okay, Courtney, get that card.
Oh. There's something in the way.
Chuck, what's going on down there?
There's a divider in the way. Maybe it's on the other side.
Okay, hold on. Pretend to pee-pee.
Okay, JP, you've got me. I'm sold. I want to hear all about this movie. What makes this one... First of all, good morning.
Good morning to you, too.
Again.
I'm just thankful, first of all, that I have to talk about the movie that's about an app and not something as deep as authenticity.
Yeah, I think that just like lightens the mood completely. But this just seems like a lot of fun. But what makes it so different from the first one?
So this time around, first time, you had the birds versus the pigs.
Yeah.
I've not played the game myself, but that makes sense to, I think, a lot of you out there. So there was the green dudes against the flappy dudes. And second time now, they introduced a third island that poses a threat to the other two. And so the pigs and the birds from the first movie decide that they might have to work together and be frenemies, as the poster insinuates, against this new third force, which is voiced by, the boss of that is Leslie Jones. So actually what's quite cool about this cast is you've got 3 Saturday Night Live whatever, I'm not an English professor.
Yeah.
And so it's Leslie Jones, Bill Hader, and Jason Sudeikis is obviously the red bird who you're looking at there. And also what's quite sweet is what you're looking at now is, I think partly because probably largely because it's got the same writers as Ice Age.
Yeah.
I remember the Mammoth and all that kind of business. It's got sort of a parallel kind of thing for the super young ones as well as the grown-ups. So you remember there was the Scrat Squirrel dude who was kept looking for his nut. You've got like this parallel story going on of while there's the larger thing of them trying to attack the third island, there's the smaller thing of these other tiny, teeny little baby birds trying to get some eggs back.
It sounds like such a goodie. I mean, you've got Leslie Jones in there, who obviously we know is just so good at being able to make things funny. She doesn't have to say a lot. So for a movie like this, where you're constantly expecting people to be laughing in the cinema the entire time, she'll do it with ease.
Bill Hader is the same thing right now. He's obviously killing it with, he's killing it, the clown, and stole the show there. So you've got really strong voices, at least, behind these characters. But I think one of the strongest points about this thing is that compared to the first movie, it doesn't have the same director somehow. I don't know what the politics are there, and it doesn't have the same writers. There was a complete overhaul of everything behind camera.
Which is probably not a bad thing.
Especially if you're going to do a sequel of a movie that, you know, it's a gimmick movie. So if you're going to make a second one, probably you expect that second one to tank. But somehow, surprisingly, to myself included, this one actually ends up being stronger than the first one.
Exceeded your expectations.
Absolutely, and what I'm looking at here now, this scene with the little submarine that the piggies are in, one of the things that first struck me about, not the scene in particular, but just looking at the sub is, it's this gigantic seagoing vessel, and at the bottom of it, it's got these tiny piggy feet that paddle to try and propel the thing. fine. So that's what I like about these cartoons is you've got people who broke their butts trying to render these animated scenes on computers for months.
Yeah, but you've also got people who actually came up with that thinking, because who thinks of that?
And so if someone, had to boot up a supercomputer and their mind to apply themselves to crafting this thing, try and be as optimistic about it as you can. Add everywhere the smallest, funniest things to try and enrich the scene. And at least this movie does that better than the first one.
Yeah.
Don't waste any opportunity to be like, well, we blew so much money making this thing look like a pretty animation. Let's see if we can at least milk as much. I don't know if birds and milk are appropriate, but like get as much as you can out of a scene. And sort of takes me back in a way to like Looney Tunes kind of physics back in the day of like if you can do something 5% more stupid, then push for it, and that's appreciable in this.
Well, it sounds like Angry Birds 2, this particular one, is all about that attention to detail. Every bit of this, the stages is well thought out and is so well crafted. In fact, thinking of that, we've got a clip, right?
Yeah. So I actually fell in love with a scene where they were pretending to be the larger eagle bird, which was stupid enough for me. Dumb, brainless fun, and so we have more of them try to sneak into the secret base of this third island, dressed up as an eagle, and things go awry in comical ways, of course. Angry Birds 2, another scene.
Let's see it.
We're in! Oh my goodness gravy.
I want to see.
No, just hold on.
I just want to see. Oh, staring at my face. Move over a little bit.
What's happening? I think he's challenging us to a breakdance battle?
Oh, it's on!
And now we have to take our minds back to deep psychological things in another segment, but
I think we want to do that.
Completely mindless fun, and I like that once in a while, and especially if you know that you're making a second movie that's just really an extended infomercial to promote the launch of a new app of its kind, then don't fool anyone to try and have like schmaltzy scenes or whatever. It must just stay insane the whole way through. So it does sag a bit, unfortunately, at the end, where it tries to sort of make sense and wrap a story.
But you can't when you've just been making us laugh the whole time. Just not try and take a bit of a story turn.
No, it doesn't take itself too seriously or whatever. But hey, like I said, second part of a franchise that's really just an infomercial, a commercial. Angry Birds 2, I will give 6 out of 10.
Oh, 6 out of 10. There we go. That's not a all too bad JP Sebastian.
Don't worry about the number I just gave. If you laughed at the scenes, go watch it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let us know what you think of this movie, Angry Birds 2. You're going to be checking it out. Let us know on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. JP Sebastian still hanging out with us. He's going to be here the whole time. We're going to take a quick break to refill this coffee cup. We'll see you in a bit. No, man. Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth. A support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer. Bless you.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, my iPad's just...
Actually, the first one is just interview. 5, 4, 3, 2...
The United States has issued satellite images and cited intelligence to back its allegation that Iran was behind attacks on major Saudi oil facilities. But Iran still denies involvement in Saturday's air attacks, which were claimed by Iran-allied Houthi rebels in Yemen. The incident has cut global oil prices by 5%, and prices have seen the biggest one-day rise since the 1991 Gulf War, rising 20% but falling back later. Tweeting on Sunday, President Donald Trump stopped short of directly accusing Iran, but suggested possible military action once the perpetrator is known. And finally, what rugby teams won't do to win the Webb Ellis Trophy. Warren Gatland, coach of the Welsh side, believes lubricated balls are one of the ways in which the Six Nations champs are mimicking conditions ahead of the contest in Japan. Wales are keen to avoid slip-ups, but... sorry, can we do that again? Wales are keen to avoid slip-ups. Wales are keen to avoid slip-ups by splashing baby oil on wet rugby balls in training. Meanwhile, Scotland have brushed up their act ahead of Sunday's Wet and Wild World Cup opener with Ireland by practicing with balls soaked in shampoo. And England, with coach Eddie Jones knowing that climate well from his time as Japan's chief rugby coach from 2012 to 2015, have buckets of water on the side of the pitch in which they frequently dip the ball. Let's hope Coach Rossi has similar plans up his sleeves. That's where we leave it for now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, early in the show, we had a registered counsellor, Shanaz Moos, in studio. She joined us in the lounge to talk about the importance of teaching your child to be authentic. She's still here as we continue that conversation. Shanaz, before we went away and chatted about movies, we were talking about what were you calling it? You were...
The pretzel.
Yes, the
unknotting.
pretzel. Unknotting. Let's talk about the concept of unknotting again. Yes.
Yeah, so there's layers. Let's just say in the knotting there's layers.
Yeah.
So you have to peel and shed layers one by one.
Yeah.
Each false layer that was given to you on your identity, you need to start peeling away. And I mean, imagine just the sound peeling.
I know. Yeah. Doesn't sound like fun.
Because it's actually painful. And people think they do one sort of discover yourself kind of course or one whatever, and then they feel they've peeled off everything. And they run around ranting, they're authentic, and they have all these social media posts like zenning. And but what they've actually done is just taken layer one away.
Yes.
And if you actually on the true journey, you realize, oh my gosh, I can't believe how lighter that feels. And as you're moving through your day, and the next day you discover more issues that from additional layers. So, okay, right, how do I tackle that? And for me, the first layer that I peeled away was perfectionism, which is also one of Brené Brown's things that she does. And the book that I read was The Gift of Imperfection.
Wow.
An audiobook, love audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I'm walking and I'm listening to it and I stop. That day I was exercising, it was rare days. And I'm walking and I stop because what she just said now is no. She knows me. She knows my heart. She knows my shame. The shame that we all have.
Yeah.
I'm not saying men have less shame, but for women, I think shame is a bigger thing because we get shamed more as kids.
We do.
And as women, we are tied to the feminine, which we spoke about earlier on, about wanting to please everybody, wanting to make everyone happy. Causes us to put on false layers because we want everyone to be happy. The one thing people say to me is, I want my kids to be happy. Then I turn to them and I say, because I see kids as well for play therapy, are you happy? Then the parent just pauses like, no, this is for my child. I'm bringing my child.
Sure.
And essentially there's just a chain of interconnectivity. A happy parent is a happy child.
Yeah.
An authentic parent
is an authentic
child.
I wanted to touch on that. How do we teach our kids to be more authentic? Because you said it really does begin there.
Yes. So you have to figure out, so you can do like an assessment of your life. Oh, no, don't wait till the crisis in your 40s.
Yeah.
Do it a bit earlier on.
The crisis is going to happen.
So I'm in my 40s, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And as I pushed late 30s, I actually changed my whole life. I left being a stay-at-home mom, which other people are dreaming of.
Yeah.
Stop dreaming, it's horrible. And I actually decided to find fulfillment.
Yeah.
And it meant going back, you know, UWC in the 90s versus 20-something. I was the titty that people were referring to, and I kept looking behind me, and they were actually calling me. It was a master's student, so it wasn't like a young person either.
Yeah.
So I actually went back to study and reconnect with what did I love? I love psychology. I love helping people. And the more I did what I loved, the happier I was at home.
Wow.
You know, and I enjoyed being a parent again. I loved being with my kids. So for me, it was like, I didn't actually go to therapy per se, but I reconnected with who I was, meant to be always.
I mean, this is It's a beautiful point that you picked up on in terms of just a little earlier you mentioned about how there's, especially women, it's a deeper struggle because there's an observed behavior in the home. And naturally of parents, sometimes you would witness subservience and you're thinking, oh, is that how I need to be accepted in society? Because that's how my father is saying, hey, you are valued. So I would love to know, as parents, what would you say is the best way to practice authenticity with and in front of your kids?
I think that always living truthfully. I mean, authenticity requires you to be truthful and honest. And we all know that there's very little of that going around because truth is raw. It isn't always pretty. And people only want pretty. They want glossed over, they want photoshopped, they want glossy, pretty, photoshopped. And so what happens is really, it's a bigger thing that needs to happen. It's about just unplugging. We were talking about the matrix earlier on. Unplugging from the false reality that everything needs to be prettier, glossier, shinier, better, faster. And just move down back to self, you know, connection to self and being yourself, and others, do whatever you want. I'm myself.
Powerful stuff. Registered counsellor Shanaz joining us in studio this morning. I'm already there in the afternoon. Nah?
I know.
This talk has been so powerful.
It's so good.
Shanaz, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that we can have you here more and more and more. But let's take a look at the social media comment this morning that says, good morning. It's so important to be authentic. What attributes make you stand out in a crowd? That's the question that we're asking today. Dean Bleeker says, good morning, authentic by daring to break the rules and walking to the beat of your own drum. Do not be conformed to social trends. Shoo. Dean coming out there strong, powerful. Josephine Pickstone says, good morning, family. I stand out just by being me. I'm a people's person. I'm bubbly, and I love laughter and smiling with an outstanding personality. Keep smiling, keep shining. I like an outstanding personality.
That's what you need to just enjoy. And then Leonette Ryan saying, good morning, Expresso fam. Happy Tuesday. My patience and empathy towards others make me authentic in more ways than one, which is so beautiful to hear that things like patience and empathy can sort of add to authenticity, which is so beautiful. Then Tobani saying, authenticity is originality. Being yourself only makes things naturally easy for you as you set your own pace. I'm such a good speaker. My words are ear-friendly. Thus, I stand out. You can hear the confidence in the writing there. And I did say earlier that sometimes authenticity is not necessarily about using all the right words, but if they are your words, that's where the power lies. So I'm really enjoying that. In fact, you can keep on messaging us on our Good Morning post, which is about authenticity and what makes you authentic. Please keep them coming. And we look forward to more authentic comments from you right here on Expresso on SABC3.
Well, here's a treat for the whole family. If you're looking for a magical way to spend time with your family this weekend, then look no further than the Journey Beyond Symphonic Circus, which will be featuring the young performers from Zigzag Circus performing their gravity-defying and magical acts with the support from the Johannesburg Youth Orchestra. Now, here to share more ahead of the performances happening at Joburg Theatre is the co-founder and CEO of Zip Zap Circus School, Laurence Esteve. Bonjour. And welcome to my boudoir.
Thank you.
The story of the Zigzag Circus is an inspiring one. It's absolutely beautiful. What is the history of the circus school, and what strides have you made to get it to the point that it is right now?
How much time do you have?
Ooh, we can go on as long as you want.
Well, in '92, we came on holiday. My husband is South African, I'm French, and we thought that the circus would be a great tool to help kids overcome challenges. It's what saved his life as a youngster, and he wanted to give the chance to other kids to experience what he did in his life. So we created a space, a fun, safe space for kids from all ages and backgrounds to come together and play using the circus arts. Just evolved a little bit. So in '92 we started with 15 kids, and now in 2019 we've got 2,000 children, youth in 10 different programs.
Wow, 2,000 young people in these programs. I mean, this speaks to the fact that it's grown growing, but it also speaks to the fact that you are doing something incredibly magical and special with these kids. What sort of changes have you seen in their livelihoods and in their confidence over time?
Well, the beneficiary, we call them kids. So our kids have got different level. The young one become much more confident and they show compassion and empathy, but they also develop other skills and circus skills, social skills, so social cohesion. Their marks improve at school. For example, the juggler uses 7% more of his brain to be able to make those patterns in the air, and they learn about dedication and commitment. That nothing happens in a day.
You've got to be there.
You're going to be there and present and committed. So, and then the older one, they get employed. They actually find work in the performing industry or as technicians or instructors or performers.
And can earn a living. In fact, speaking of one of those people who've gone out and made such an incredible use of this platform is Vuyani, one of your jugglers. Vuyani, where are you? And I hope Vuyani hasn't lubricated those balls like we're hearing with the rugby. Vuyani, man. And so this is what happens with all these kids who come in, commit themselves, show their dedication, and then able to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Take me so many years.
Yeah.
It very does.
But it's dedication and it's also fun. And not every child is going to be good in a boardroom or become an engineer and a doctor. And a lot of kids need physical activity and something else to find their confidence and then get their self-esteem back.
And you can see he does this so confidently. Now, I know that you're going to be performing alongside the Johannesburg Youth Orchestra. Hello, friend. How's it?
Circus is in town.
Give me a fright. And of course, we know that you drew inspiration for this performance happening at the Joburg Theatre from the Circus de la Symphony, which you guys opened for when they were here in South Africa. What type of audience do you think will enjoy this performance coming up in Joburg?
It's open to all because it's more a variety show. Yes, we use the orchestra, but they can play classical, but they can play also very famous track from movies. That's what he does all the time. So he's our character, and he's going to lead everybody onto a journey. So the orchestra, to have a live music on stage gives a lot more depth to all our performances, and we choreograph. Each act has a story according to the music. So we have the Pirates of the Caribbean, and of course we've got pirates on stage, and it's really pushed through to really each note of each song is being choreographed. So it's really enjoyable.
Well, it sounds like there is something for everyone, and just based on what I've seen with these guys while they've been walking around and doing this on the floor here, I know it's going to be a treat. Thank you so much for that. All the best. Now, of course, make sure not to miss the spectacle that is Journey Beyond Symphonic Circus from the 19th to the 21st of September. It's all happening out at the Joburg Theatre, and tickets are available from webtickets.co.za. Of course, there'll be performances from Zolani Mahola, the Joburg Youth Orchestra, Zita Pretorius, Timothy Moloi. What more can you expect? So don't change that dial. Stick around to catch a mesmerizing performance. More of this from some of the young performers from Zipzak Circus. In the meantime, though, while I learn how to juggle a ball or two, we'll see you after this.
You never feel happy. Never feel happy. No, you won't. Until you try. You never feel happy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3. My juggling skills definitely have a long way to go. Yes, we have a long way to go. But all of this is happening here on your feel-good breakfast show throughout the show. It's the Zip Zack, or Zip Zap, rather. Zip Zap. Circus, they're going to be performing right ahead of their performance happening out in Johannesburg. Right now, though, it's time for us to check out what's happening in and around the world with Leanne and the news.
Thank you so much, Tavi. So in the national news this morning, South African soldiers will patrol gang-ridden Cape Town streets for an extra 6 months. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday extended their deployment to the end of March 2020. The Defence Force was deployed in July to help quell escalating violence that has killed hundreds this year, and that some officials have likened to a war zone. This after the Western Cape provincial government had written to the Minister of Defence earlier this month, requesting that the SANDF deployment to support Operation Lockdown be extended. The South African National Taxi Council says it welcomes the Commission of Inquiry appointed by Gauteng Premier David Makhura to look into taxi violence in the province, that the outcomes of the commission will help bring transformation and peace into the industry. The taxi industry has been marred by violence and killings in the past couple of months. Makhura has given the commission, which will be chaired by retired Judge Jeremiah Shongwe, 6 months to conduct its investigation, submit a report to him and make recommendations. Now moving further abroad, Tanzania's President John Magufuli yesterday launched a new radar system at the country's main Julius Nyerere International Airport in the city of Dar es Salaam. It is one of 4 new radar systems the East African nation has recently acquired that will help improve security. Last month, a new terminal was opened at the airport, which is expected to increase traffic to at least 6 million annually. Tanzania is home to 2 renowned tourism destinations, Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, and wildlife-rich national parks such as the Serengeti. The United States has issued satellite images and cited intelligence to back its allegation that Iran was behind attacks on major Saudi oil facilities. But Iran still denies involvement in Saturday's air attacks, which were claimed by Iran-aligned Houthi rebels in Yemen. Now, the incident has cut global oil supplies by 5%, and prices have seen the biggest one-day rise since the 1991 Gulf War, rising 20% but falling back later. Tweeting on Sunday, President Donald Trump stopped short of directly accusing Iran, but suggested possible military action once the perpetrator is known. And finally, what rugby teams won't do to win the Webb Ellis Trophy. Now, Warren Gatland, coach of the Welsh side, believes lubricated balls are one of the ways in which the Six Nations champs are mimicking conditions ahead of the contest in Japan. Wales are keen to avoid slip-ups by splashing baby oil on wet rugby balls in training. Now, meanwhile, Scotland has brushed up their act ahead of Sunday's Wet and Wild World Cup opener with Ireland by practicing with balls soaked in shampoo. And England, with coach Eddie Jones knowing the climate well from his time as Japan's chief rugby coach from 2012 to 2015, have buckets of water on the side of the pitch in which they frequently dip the ball. Let's hope Coach Rassie has similar plans up his sleeve. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Carl.
So from baby oil, we'll slip into some sporting action. South Africa's fastest woman, Karina Horn, has been provisionally suspended and will not be competing in the IAAF World Championships after allegedly using a banned substance. Horn is best known for becoming the first South African woman to run sub 11 seconds in the 100-meter race, clocking a time of 10.98 seconds. The 30-year-old has tested positive for ibutamorin, a banned anabolic agent. Her B sample is yet to be tested. Moving on to the world of football, PSL side Chippa United has parted ways with head coach Clinton Larson following their 2-1 defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Orlando Stadium over the weekend. Larson, who replaced Joel Masuta, has been in charge of Chippa United for the past 8 months and suffered a tough start to the 2019-2020 season. A replacement has yet to be named, although Duran Francis is suspected to be his replacement. And finally, some rugby news, in fact some more rugby news. Springbok Sevens head coach Neil Powell was forced to make a late change to the team heading into the upcoming October Sevens event after Ryan Oosthuizen suffered a back strain and will be replaced by Sako Makata. The 21-year-old Makata made his debut for the Blitzboks in this year's USA and Canada Sevens tournaments. The Blitzboks will be captained by Siviwe Soyizwapi and will play New Zealand, England and 2017 champions Australia in the pool stages. The team will depart for Germany this morning. That's it for your sporting action for now. On to some traffic. Here's Tabiso.
Thank you very much, Carl. Let's take a look at your roads this morning. We start off in Gauteng, out in Midrand, where there has been a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 southbound. That's after the Samrand Avenue. The right lane is obstructed, so please do approach with caution. If you're out in the Western Cape and Guguletu on the N2 outbound, there is a stationary vehicle that's after Borchards Quarry Road, obstructing the right shoulder, so please keep a lookout for this. And off to the train lines, there is an extended travel time of 30 to 40 minutes. That's on the Loverstown line. This is due to speed restrictions, infrastructure problems in various areas, as well as sets out of service. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Now, we've asked you to send in your beautiful sunrise pictures. Thank you so much for doing that. Louise Cherry, who sent us her sunrise from Blue Hills out in Midrand, where sunny conditions can be expected with little to no wind and a very warm temperature, reaching a maximum of 30 degrees today. Quentin Frank also sent us his sunrise picture from Stellenbosch, where plenty of sunshine can be expected with a southwesterly breeze and increasing cloud cover towards the evening, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. Thank you so much. You too can do the same. Get those pictures through to us on Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. And now we take a look at those temperatures, starting off in Polokwane, a low of 13 today, reaching highs of 29 degrees. If you're out in Mbombela, 16, peaking at 28. It's nice and sunny out in the capital city, Pretoria, 14, reaching a high of 29, with plenty of sunshine expected for Johannesburg. You start off at 13, reaching a high of 29 degrees. Mahikeng, 16, your low, reaching a high of 33, with clear skies expected for Klerksdorp today, 12, your low, reaching a high of 34 degrees. Kimberley, 13, your low, reaching highs of 33, with Bloemfontein nice and sunny today, starting off at 6, but reaching that nice maximum of 30 degrees. And it's high humidity expected for you, Richards Bay today, 21, your low, reaching a high of 25, with Pietermaritzburg coming through at 14 and 31. If you're out in South Africa's playground, Durban nice and warm today, 19, reaching a high of 28, with Mthatha starting off at 10, reaching a maximum of 33 degrees. High humidity is expected for East London, 15, your low, reaching highs of 28, and Craddock, you have 8, your low, reaching highs of 32 degrees. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, friendly weather today as well, 13, your low, reaching a high of 22, with George coming through at 13 and a max of 21 degrees. The lowest temperatures in the country, that's for you, Sutherland, 4, your low, reaching a high of 24, and Cape Town, the mother city, today 14, our low, reaching a high of 21, with Worcester coming through with that southwesterly wind of 11 kilometers per hour, 10, your low, reaching a high of 28, and Springbok with 15 and a maximum of 33 degrees. The highest temperatures in the country today, that's for you, Uppington, 16 is your low, and you will peak at a very warm temperature, maximum of 38 degrees. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Hey, whenever you hear that tune, you know what that means. We're about to wish some people a big happy birthday. You feeling this music, Paul?
I love this music. I feel like I need to know what the composer's name is. It's just a beautiful, beautiful moment for you. I know it's your birthday today, so we want to make it extra special for you, and I want to start off with our first birthday wish. And this is for Mpho Michelle. Now, Mpho, we see your picture. The attitude there is amazing. May you have a great day, Angel. We hope that you will grow to be a great example to your friends and other people around you. And this is from your friend, Naledi.
Yes.
Also, Abigail Calvin. Very special birthday for you. The wish says, we wish our sister and daughter Abigail Calvin a special 20th birthday. May there be many more years added to your lifespan. Enjoy your day from your sisters, Caleb, as well as parents.
How about this one? God's richest blessings on your 55th birthday. Birthday daddy, Kevin Williams. We love you so much. You are a rock, and you rock. Love you lots from Howie, Stacy, Caitlin, Hayden, and Zach. I basically think all the Williamses in the world are family.
Of course you would.
Anyways, how about this one? Happy 12th birthday to Niall or Nihal. We're wishing you a fabulous and blessed day from your entire family. So happy birthday.
HBD to Kaylee, a happy and most abundantly blessed birthday, Kaylee. Through the miles, although the miles separate us, you are always in our hearts. We love and miss you to the moon and back. Love, Mum, Dad, Lai, and Ali. See you soon. Very, very sweet. Also, Monique, I wish my daughter Monique a happy 17th birthday today from her mommy, daddy, sisters, and brother. We love you. We really do.
This one going out to Elnor. I'm wishing my sister Elnor van Wyk a happy birthday. From Priscilla and Rick Krill, we love you. Happy birthday, Elnor. Also, Zandile, the Lord has blessed you with another year. I wish you nothing but the best. May you continue to prosper and all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, my queen. I love you so much, my apple. From Zbonga Konke Mguni. Happy birthday, Zandile.
My apple. That is very sweet.
Apple.
The passion, we have to put the passion in here, so I'm going to go straight over to Leandre Mackey. Happy 16th birthday, sweet 16 to Leandre Mackey. May your day be filled with love and happiness. Love from your dad, mom, sister, and brother. And then Reino Engelbrecht. Happy 32nd birthday, still lekker young, to Reino Engelbrecht. And a happy 3rd anniversary to you and Maeve. Best wishes from your mom, Sharon, as well as Uncle Aubrey. Everybody has Uncle Aubrey.
I love everybody. I also have one. How about this one? Anthea Stevens. Wishing Anthea Stevens a happy birthday. May God bless you abundantly. Have a splendid day. Love you from your aunts, Ingrid and Dash Renique. Wow.
Lovely. It's a good name, powerful name. In fact, if your name is on the birthday card today, all you have to do is get creative with it, send a 15-second video. And I mean, it doesn't matter how you hoy it, as long as you get something nice in there for somebody's birthday. The number to send the video to is 071 640 6551. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We love a birthday. Do you know who else is celebrating their birthday today? One of our performers from Zip Zap Circus. It's Pelelani. Give it up for Pelelani. Happy birthday, Pelelani. Come through, don't be shy. Happy birthday, man. I know you're going to be doing a performance for us here. This is all happening from the 19th to the 21st of September out at Joburg Theatre. Of course, webtickets.co.za. That's where you go to get the tickets. Pelelani, you're going to be wheeling and dealing on this performance here, and I can't wait to see it. This is just a taste of what you can expect at the Joburg Theatre. Pelelani, birthday boy, take it away.
You never feel happy. No, you won't. Until you try. You never feel happy. never, 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 never feel. You'll never feel happy.
One more time for Pelelani. Come on now. Wow, Pelelani. I'm standing there the whole time with my hands like this. Anxiety over here, anxiety over there. The cameramen are all just wondering if you're going to be knocking the blonde boards just now, knocking any of the cameras. But you're such a pro, dude. That was absolutely amazing. Of course, this is just a taste of what you can expect to see at the Joburg Theatre from the 19th to the 21st of September. It is just going to be absolutely spectacular. And as you can see, so magical. All the love that's flowing through on social media. Thank you so much. Keep that rolling in. Expresso Show is the hashtag. Pelelani, you rock. Put it here. You're going to teach me how to do this, right? We'll take a break. We'll see you after this. I'm not going to learn. It's fine. Nah, it's fine. Cheers.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
We'll see you in the night.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So Dr. Fareed joined us last week to chat about vitamin B deficiency, and today we're going to cover why we might become vitamin B deficient and how to be aware of the risk groups. So do you ever wonder why doctors always tell you to eat a balanced diet? And well, the reason is that the building blocks for good health come from a variety of foods, and even if they are from the same family nutrients. Now, such is the case with vitamin B, a key player in maintaining your overall health. And this is the conversation that we continue with Dr. Fareed this morning. Great to have you back, sir.
Thank you very much.
How exactly does one become deficient of that vitamin?
So it's probably quite a slow process. What people perhaps aren't told is that vitamins don't have to be taken every single day. Your body can store vitamin B12, for example, for years. So the thing that catches some of us out is that we can get away with eating badly for a much longer period of time than we realize.
Yes.
We specifically, things that strip our vitamins would be things like alcohol. So drinking something which our body needs to work quite hard at removing.
Yes.
And even genetically, we now know that some of us do better on carbs than we do on fats. And so if I'm eating a food source that my body doesn't specifically prefer, it's actually using up the vitamins to try to metabolize, which is a very cool word for break it down, and excrete excrete it or get it out of my body. So bodies like to absorb the vitamin in its natural state.
Okay.
If I heat something, I can lose as much as 50% of the vitamin quality of that food just by heating it.
Wow.
By reheating it, I lose it again. By freezing it, I can lose it. And so this is what we do. We'll buy the food. We don't know where that food's come from. By storing that food. So an orange that's just getting older on the counter is already starting to lose some of the nutrients in that orange. It's biodegrading. It's breaking up.
It's oxidizing.
So the problem is that getting your vitamins and nutrients from food alone is becoming really unreliable.
Yeah, I think that the understanding that once the food is in your body, it needs to be broken down to either be used, stored, or gotten rid of really paints a picture.
You sound like a doctor, really.
Well, I'm listening to a very good doctor.
That's studying. It's just...
Let's talk about medical conditions that can predispose a person to being vitamin B deficient.
This is immensely important because very few of us actually know anybody who doesn't use medication ever. So if you ever have an infection and use an antibiotic, if you use a steroid, if you use antidepressants, if you use anxiety medications, if you use sleeping medication, specifically our chronic patients who are very susceptible are our patients like our diabetic patients. These guys are very prone to developing nerve problems. So what happens is, for some reason, when you have a problem moving sugar around your body, it seems like your body has an equivalent problem moving the vitamins around your body. So if salts don't move, if sugar doesn't move, these are carrier molecules. So when you are on a medication for managing your sugar, that medication needs vitamins to do its job, specifically B12 and B6. And if you aren't on, if you're on the medication without supplementing, your nerves are under huge pressure to get access to these vitamins. So they start to get typically your numbness. Diabetic patients will often complain of numbness in the fingertips and in the feet, and we even get a sort of a sock and glove kind of neuropathy we talk about, where it would almost be the lower half of the upper limb, the lower half of the lower. And the thing about that is it coincides now with poorer blood circulation because the nutrients can't get to the tissues to heal and replenish.
And as we said in our last conversations, that it's very difficult to sometimes determine whether those symptoms you're experiencing are as a result of, let's say, a vitamin B deficiency, because the tests in the blood aren't always so accurate, and there could be so many other factors. So, but if you are in those risk groups that you've mentioned,
I would just say go for it.
Yeah, so what would you suggest?
So the other group I want to just add perhaps to that, so your hypertension, we talked about your blood pressure groups, your patients taking anti-epileptic medications. So I would almost say by the time you're taking a medication that your doctor has told you to take every day, add vitamins, without question. Be on your Bs. Your Bs keep you good.
There we go. Be on your Bs.
And we should start ending this with be well. What do you think?
Well, be well, doctor. As you've heard, vitamin B deficiency is very common and can present itself in various ways and making it difficult to identify. So if you are at risk and you fall into any of the risk groups that have been mentioned today, speak to your doctor or your pharmacist and make sure that you tune in next week. Again, we will chat about how exactly to test for vitamin B deficiency. And you, be well.
Well, we've reached the eye, or the eve rather, the eye, because we can see it that the summer is here, but also the eve of bathing suit season. And if you're worried about the extra kilos you accumulated during comfort food winter, stay right here where you are, because Megan Pence-Clates is here to tell us all about how we can start introducing some delicious superfoods into our meal times to boost our metabolism and assist in weight loss. Welcome, Megs. So good to have you here.
Thank you.
Good news you are bringing this morning. The news I want to hear, the content we signed up for, right?
We're here for that. We're here for that. Let's talk about superfoods and how they can help us slim down as the weather becomes warmer and summer approaches.
Well, you know, there's no real legal or scientific definition of superfoods, but what we really do take from it is that it is a powerhouse of nutrients. So foods that really are high in and nutritional. We're looking at foods from something like your moringa, your spirulina. We're looking at chia seeds, and then of course canola, and those are all actually like powerhouse of nutrients, and we need to add in. So the moment you actually like eating a little bit less and slimming down, you want to ensure you can boost your metabolism metabolism and also boost your nutrient intake.
Yeah.
And that's the type of foods that you want to add in. And of course, all your whole foods as well, because they boost as well in a big way.
You see, when it comes to diets and changing diets, you want to make sure that you get two things. You want, one, to be able to lose those kilos if that's what you're looking to do, but two, you want it to be healthy at the same time. So what are those very specific superfoods that can give us the balance of two?
Well, of course, if we look at something like our oils, we've got our canola oil, and that is really rich in our omega-3. And we've got our olive oil, which is rich in monounsaturated fats. Now, that's excellent when it comes to boosting metabolism, when it comes to heart health. And, of course, then you add in all your greens. So you're adding in your kale, you're adding in, you know, your broccoli, etc., and all those types of nutrients that you add in as well, and that's going to help boost your intake. And remember, if you go onto the Be Well website, you'll get actually excellent recipes that are using those types of foods with the canola to help boost not only health, but of course also weight loss.
Nice.
Now I know that fish is a great way of getting in those fatty acids, omega-3s. What if you are allergic to something like fish? How can you still get those essential fatty acids in?
Absolutely. So if you're allergic or if you're vegetarian or vegan, it's actually a great way is to start with your pure canola oil, because that is your really rich source of omega-3. It's very concentrated, and that's great for immunity as well. And then you've got foods such as your chia seeds, you're looking at your walnuts, and of course your canola eggs. So for anyone that's wanting to look at those as great options, please, you know, those are the ones we need to increase in boosting our immune systems for the summer.
It sounds like there's something just for everyone, basically. So if you're allergic to the one thing, there's always something to supplement or replace it with. Megan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've, of course, just from this conversation, we can tell that our Be Well Pure Canola Oil is rich in omega-3, so that our first choice becomes that. It's our first choice, it's our accessible choice, and you can just get it from just about everywhere, right?
Exactly. It's all about heart and metabolic health. Thank you so much, Megan, for always making sure that we stay healthy.
And getting back into shape and looking after your own well-being doesn't need to be hard. Thanks for shedding some light on the power of superfoods, Megan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shedding.
What's up, guys? This is Ndando Duma. I'm a media personality, a TV presenter, actress, and a mother. Join me on the island, buy a Tropica bottle and see entry details on the bottle. Upload a video of yourself telling me why you'd be my ideal partner on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and the hashtag is TIOT9. Join me on the island and come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure, Carousel.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso here on SABC3, and still ahead for you some of the latest movie trailers with JP Sebastian. But first, a quick look at the news. Here's Leanne.
Thank you so much, Carl. In the national news this morning, South African soldiers will patrol gang-ridden Cape Town streets for an extra 6 months. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday extended their deployment to the end of March 2020. The South African National Taxi Council says it welcomes the Commission of Inquiry appointed by Gauteng Premier David Makhura to look into the taxi violence in the province. It says the outcomes of the commission will help transformation and peace in the industry. Now moving further abroad, Tanzania's President John Magufuli yesterday launched a new radar system at the country's main Julius Nyerere International Airport in the city of Dar es Salaam. It is one of the 4 new radar systems Tanzania has recently acquired that will help improve security. The US has issued satellite images and cited intelligence to back its allegation that Iran was behind attacks on major Saudi oil facilities. The incident has cut global oil supplies by 5%, and the prices have seen the biggest one-day rise since the 1991 Gulf War. And then finally, a nightmare so real caused a Californian woman to swallow her engagement ring while having a nightmare on a speeding train. Now, 29-year-old Jenna Evans recalls she did so to protect the 2.4-carat ring from the bad guys who haunted her in her sleep next to her fiancé, Bobby. Then she woke and realized what she'd done. She woke Bobby and they made a beeline for a hospital. X-rays identified the ring in her stomach, but doctor says that it would be unwise to let nature take its course. Later, after the operation, she woke crying hysterically and clutching the ring. She explained, "I cried a lot because I would be so mad if I had died. I waited so long for this darn engagement ring." Wow, Jenna is going to be an exciting sight in life for Bobby. Well, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sport with Carl.
Sporting action a bit easier to swallow today. Here are the headlines. South Africa's fastest woman, Karina Horn, has been provisionally suspended and will not be competing in the IAAF World Championships after allegedly using a banned substance. In the football world, PSL side Chipper United has parted ways with head coach Clinton Larson following their 2-1 defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Orlando Stadium over the weekend. And finally, Springboks Sevens head coach Neil Powell was forced to make a late change to the team heading to the upcoming Oktoberfest Sevens after Ryan Oosthuizen suffered a back strain and will be replaced by Sako Makata. That's it for your sporting headlines. For now, on to traffic. Here's Tabiso.
Thanks a lot, Carl. Let's take another look at your roads this morning. We start off in KwaZulu-Natal out in Durban North. There has been a multi-vehicle accident on the N2 northbound before Queen Nandi Drive, obstructing the ramp lane, so please approach with caution. And in the Western Cape, Ikwezi Park on the R300 northbound, there are 2 stationary vehicles between Hendel Road and Van Riebeck Road, obstructing the emergency lane, so please keep a lookout for this. And off to the train lines, there is an extended travel time of 30 to 40 minutes. That's on the Simonstown line. This is due to infrastructure problems in Fishhook, Plumstead and Claremont, defective level crossing booms, speed restrictions, as well as sets out of service. The next report will be just around 8 o'clock. Here is a look at your weather.
We've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Our regular photographer, Gary Oakham, sent us his sunrise from Kids Beach in East London, where intervals of clouds and sun can be expected with a light breeze and comfortable temperatures, reaching a maximum of 24 degrees. Also, Zander Swanepoel sent us his sunrise picture from Johannesburg, where partly cloudy conditions can be expected with little to no wind and very warm temperatures, reaching a hot maximum of 31 degrees. Let's take a look at some of the other temperatures around the country. Polokwane, good morning. You're looking at a low of 13 rising to 29. Mbombela, 16 reaching 28. Pretoria, 14, 29. Johannesburg, plenty of sunshine for you with a low of 13 rising to 29. Mahikeng, 16, 33. Clear skies for Klerksdorp today with a low of 12 rising to 34. Kimberley, 13, 33. Bloemfontein, 6 reaching 30 degrees. Richards Bay, you'll have some high humidity today with a low of 21, rising to 25 degrees. Pietermaritzburg 14, rising to 31. Durban 19, reaching 28 degrees. Mthatha 10, rising to 33. Now East London, you're looking at high humidity today with a low of 15, rising to 28 degrees. Craddock 8, reaching 32. Port Elizabeth 13, rising to 22 degrees. George 13, 21. The lowest temperature in the country belongs to Sutherland today with a low of 4 degrees, rising to 24 degrees. Cape Town 14, 21. Worcester, a southwesterly wind of 11 kilometers per hour can be expected, a low of 10, rising to 28 degrees. Springbok 15, reaching 33. And then the highest temperature in the country is for Uppington, 16, rising to 38 degrees today. It's going to be a scorcher. I'll have a final weather update for you at 8 o'clock.
Ooh, it's going to be a scorcher over there, but what's really heating up on this side of the building is that JP Sebastian is back once again, giving us this time around a rundown of the latest movie trailers worth checking out, movies that are coming out, yet to come out. He goes through so many of these trailers to find the ones that are worth putting on this show for you. JP Sebastian, it's good to have you again right here.
Jeez, what an entrance.
Were you like waiting for like
no
confetti?
Pressure.
You're like
a red carpet just hits me in the face, and I'm like, hi. So
two of them here.
Gigantic movies as well. Obviously, as we're reaching the end of the year, people are, you know, these studios want to make some big money for Christmas.
December blockbusters.
And Midway would be the first one. I think it's 27th of December in South Africa. This is based on true events. I won't say a true story because it's director Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich is the guy who did Independence Day, which is a famously just dumb action movie we know about. 2012 as well, just stupid, dumb roller coaster fun.
Always daydreaming, basically.
Yeah, and he's the kind of guy who's just like, World War II was too bleak. Let's make it cartoonish and like romantic. So Midway looks like an answer to Pearl Harbor. I don't know if you remember the old movie with it was Ben Affleck. And that was Michael Bay, and Michael Bay is his own sort of like outsized cartoonish kind of director. So unfortunately for Roland Emmerich, he's been like kicking this idea around for 20 years. He had to wait for a bit longer after Pearl Harbor had passed, and now Midway comes along, which is not the same attack as Pearl Harbor, but is about the theater of war during World War II in the Pacific. As you can see, the action is going to be ridiculous.
There's a lot of action.
As you can see, I don't think anyone was content with only like 3 planes in the air in Dunkirk. This guy wants like tons of metal in the sky. There was a plane flying between like a street. That's not possible in real life.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of mind-numbingly stupid pieces of action to this movie, and I'm here for it because Roland Emmerich is a guy who bludgeons me over the head with an American flag and I don't know, gouges my eyes out with a bald eagle, and I wouldn't care.
Wow, okay.
It's mindless, dumb fun, and I think that this is what it's going to be as well.
There is definitely a lot of unrealistic elements in this film, but the really nice thing about it is they've done it in a way that is so believable, because I'm watching this trailer now, and it looks like there was a plane flying across a street.
Yeah, you even dodged at one point, didn't you? No,
I did not.
So maybe for like 3D cinemas and stuff like that. We've got, what's his name? I don't know my music too well. That's Nick Jonas, right? That's one of the Jonas's things. I don't know why you choose a guy who's not an actor to be in a role where he has to sit in a cockpit this close and act really well in the face. Hopefully he does that well enough, but I'm just here for the metal flying at each other and men screaming. And
who are some of the other names, the big names to
Woody
look out for?
Harrelson, Aaron Eckhart is gigantic as well in his own way. Luke Evans, who we just saw there. So you've got, as well as Luke Evans, you've got Ed Skrein, who's the lead man, and these are both English actors or UK actors, which is interesting enough because it's like such a patriotic American red, white, and blue movie. But yeah, I just think it's going to be a roller coaster of history.
We've also got Ford versus Ferrari, which is about who's going to design the fastest car.
Yeah, this is a famous rivalry from back in the day. Le Mans 24-hour, which is a race that still goes on to this day. You have to put like, I think 2 cars is what you get to put on a track for 24 hours. It's ridiculous. So these things have to be performance machines that, like, yeah, to this day, the engineering is still impressive. Even for back in the day when this was. I think this is like pre-60s or something like that. Who cares? I'm not a car fundy. But I know that people love Matt Damon, and I know that people love dearly Christian Bale, who returns as the hot-headed driver.
We love Christian Bale.
Dude's a chameleon, like absolutely, obviously.
He takes on every character, and he's so different, and he really embodies it in the most beautiful way.
And in this trailer, they show more of the bromance and the frenemy sort of relationship between the two guys. Matt Damon is playing the engineer and the level-headed designer type thing. And then obviously Christian Bale is the hothead, and Matt Damon has to to play sort of middleman between the corporation, Ford, which commissions him charges him with this mission of beating Ferrari in this tournament that they've monopolized for so many decades. Yeah. And he has to tango between the suits and Christian Bale on the other hand. When you make it a movie where your subject is like Sotabiso, it's cars. I mean, that might seem sort of like quite narrow, so you need to have a good director behind the lens and a good cinematographer. You're basically challenging yourself to make one of the greats because your subject is so simple. Yeah. So it looks like it's shot beautifully enough. Maybe it enters the halls of fame of like bygone car movies.
It sounds like once you check out, when does it come out here in Mzansi?
Is I think that's January 2020. So
it says November.
What?
22nd.
Lies. Okay, so November. I'm wrong.
Yeah, 15th of November out in the States, and I think here 22nd of November.
Yeah.
I hope we're right. I'm sure we are.
Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna be lots of fun anyway.
Thank you so much.
Petrol
JP.
and planes.
Yeah, all happening at the same time. Mind blowing. That's all happening here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show 4. Breakfast 4.
I said mind-numbing too much.
Sure. And JP Sebastian's going to be hanging out with us a little bit later on, giving us more of those movies to check out. We'll see you after the break.
He karate chopped my hand to stop me.
Hey, so, you know what? After all the trailers, I thought I'd give you a trailer as to how to order something here at Mac Cafe. And it's very, very simple, though. From the producers of Coffee comes a brand new actor who is willing to give me a muffin. Her name, Princess. Thank you.
Yes.
Movie done, best movie in history, and you're welcome. More after these on Expresso.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
On the next episode of The Next Brand Ambassador, things get cooking as the contestants have to produce an influencer-led social media campaign.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
It's time to put my big girl pants on.
All hell breaks loose. Oh no, here we go.
Ladies, I thought that we spoke about this. That is alarm bells. I say let's juice it out.
That's The Next Brand Ambassador. Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it. You are still with your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up on the right side of bed and hanging out with us. It's lots of Feel Good coming through this morning. JP Sebastian is here giving us the 411 on all the movie trailers that are the latest movie trailers that are out and worth chatting about. The Lighthouse, two guys. It's a psychological horror, you explained to me. They're stuck somewhere. What is this all about?
So apparently based on a true story, you've got Robert Pattinson, everyone's favorite sparkly vampire dude, who obviously now is Batman as well. Obviously, between you all forgetting, has been doing such amazing movies, purposely choosing to do weirder and weirder things rather than big, dollar-grabbing type stuff.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe, who also from the superhero circuit was the Green Goblin, but for most people, lots of smaller, like niche specialist type roles. The Lighthouse. So what we're getting here is, because this is the final trailer before the movie is released, we don't have a date in SA just yet, but it's in October in the United States, is all shot in a way that feels like an old film from, I think you said it was the 1890s.
Yeah.
The lenses are from back in the day. The 30s is when they were using those from, and the aspect ratio is not usually your TV you're used to, that widescreen 16:9 thing. This is perfectly purposely a claustrophobic 1.19 by 1, so basically like just a square. Yeah, absolutely. And that's great because you're forcing these two characters on top of each other in frame. Robert Pattinson is the new dude at the Lighthouse. Willem Dafoe, clearly going through things, has lost his previous Lighthouse companion to madness apparently. And so Robert Pattinson is the new guy and doesn't believe all the hype and the stories of the tales of the sea. And Willem Dafoe's like, trust me, bad stuff goes down here. Apparently it's lots of fun as well. It's hilarious. And you'll see for yourself.
Is the entire film in this black and white treatment?
Yeah, and so you've got a director who knows what they're doing behind the lens as well. It is Robert Eggers, previously did The Witch, which is another movie you need to keep an eye out for. Well, not keep an eye out for, it came out in 2015. Just these really like grinding evil behind the scenes and then just explosive at the end before you think you can escape. So yeah, stuff clearly goes down in the Lighthouse.
It sounds like it. Now the next one is Gretel and Hansel. And you got me confused with the title of it because I know Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, now they've switched it around. Is there a reason for that?
Rolls off the tongue from our childhood, usually that way, but Gretel and Hansel, it seems like what they've done is, rather than the kids being two helpless little kiddies at the same age, Gretel takes a leading role because she's a bit older, she's in her teens, so the director describes it as also a coming-of-age type movie where she's got to deal with trying to pull one person at the other end and keep this little boy Hansel alive through this ordeal, and trying to deal with the outside world, trying to sink its claws into her in a quite literal sense. Obviously, we know the fairy tale from the Brothers Grimm, where the little boy leaves breadcrumbs through the forest to try and help them find their way back. However, they come across the cottage that's made out of gingerbread, and this you can see from the poster as well. The thing is this perfectly geometrical triangle, which I love that kind of design. You've got this forest and all the trees are gnarled and asymmetric, and there's just this perfect structure in the middle of it, which feels alien and creepy enough. So it's just the kid and the witch.
Yeah.
And it looks like what we can learn from this trailer is that the little girl might have a future of her own in this coven. I don't know. She looks like she gained some sort of powers.
Okay.
So I don't know if they both get eaten. Who knows? Like the traditional story.
It's about to go off.
The kid, by the way, Sophia Lillis she was from It Chapter 1. And she did really
she
well
knows how to do this sort of thing. She knows how to do this. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. We haven't got a release date here yet for South Africa. We know that it's Feb next year. So if you're a big fan, it's going to be quite a wait for you. Let us know what you think of these films on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, JP Sebastian. Once again, you rock. You're the one. Okay, well, that didn't go so smoothly. Did I hear chicken, somebody? Chicken!
Clover Good Hope Soy Milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Of course, Tabisa heard chicken.
Chicken! Chicken!
Onger.
Okay, it's a good day because can I tell you, chicken is actually my favorite thing. In fact, today could be my favorite day. I know you think it may be Tuesday, but it's Saturday day because we're making the ultimate favorite in the kitchen. These are Thai-inspired chicken skewers served with a slightly spicy, slightly sweet peanut sauce. It's so easy to do, and we're going to show you exactly how. Well, Leanne's going to show you because this is my chef here. So, Chef Leanne, talk me through it. Let's do this.
Thank you so much. Okay, so our hero ingredient today is our Good Hope soy milk, right?
Yep.
So that We put in a bowl. We popped some peanuts and some cashew nuts, put a plastic cover over it. We left it overnight so that the peanuts could soak, all the flavors could infuse and also soften as well so that they blend a lot better. And then our Thai spices are going to be ginger, garlic, chili, soy sauce and coriander.
Coriander is a very good, you know, it's so great.
Exactly. So we're popping in our...
Let me give you a hand here with a spoon.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Why don't you take us through the...
because the actual, I mean, the soy milk is incredible, though, given the fact that it's super healthy. When I say super healthy, I don't just mean that. I mean, like, for the highest quality, non-GMO, and it's naturally grown by, you know, the whole soybeans that they do use in that. So everything is supernatural. In fact, supernatural sounds even better than just natural. It's naturally lactose and cholesterol-free as well. Yes. And it's preservative-free, vegan-friendly, which is vitally important anywhere you go in South Africa right now. It's a source of protein, and it's rich in energy, vitamins, as well as minerals. And especially when you blitz it up and use it in creative ways, you just get the vitality all the way through into this satay dish. Okay, let's blend.
All right, blend, baby.
All right.
Loving it. And of course, depending on how thick or not thick you want it, you can add more good up soy.
Yes.
Soy milk, but let's just see quickly what's the consistency. Do we like it?
But let me just see. It has to be sort of like a pouring consistency.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just going to add a little bit more.
That's it.
Because I haven't really blitzed it all the way. Oh, these flavors are hitting me real good.
It's the coriander, it's the ginger, it's the garlic, it's the chili, all of them. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Great. Now.
All right. And of course, we prepared these delicious. This is the way it's supposed to be. We prepared these delicious chicken skewers. And once they are done, all you have to do is take your gorgeous satay sauce. Drizzle, darling. Drizzle.
Drizzle for shizzle, my nizzle.
Exactly. I'm just... Oh. There we go. Our keyword today is clover. SMS that to 33728. We'll gladly send you the ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making this delicious satay sauce yourself.
Yes, please. Gorgeous, delicious, complex, amazing. Make it today.
Take a look at how we made it one more time.
Lovely.
It's good.
Really good.
Craving a little Thai? Don't order in. Make your own spicy, sweet and nutty Thai-inspired clover peanut chili chicken skewers. Pour 1.5 cups of clover good up soy over 1/2 cup of unsalted peanuts. Cover with cling film and leave to soak overnight. In a blender, combine the soaked peanuts and soy milk with 1 garlic clove, 3 centimeters of freshly grated ginger, and 1 chopped red chili, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a handful of fresh coriander, and a pinch of salt. Blend together until smooth and set aside. Add 4 cubed chicken breasts to a bowl and season to taste. Next, add a touch of pride and combine until chicken is evenly coated. Thread the chicken onto pre-soaked bamboo skewers and cook on a hot griddle or on the braai until cooked through and golden. Drizzle over the peanut chili sauce and tuck in. Make these delicious spicy golden chicken bites on the grill or the braai. Either way, make sure you have plenty of sauce.
Made with love by Clover.
It's all about the sauce, baby. Clover to 33728. We'll send you the ingredients list. We'll send you the link to the recipe, and you could be making these yummy, 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 yummy satay chicken skewers yourself. We're gonna jump right in and, of course, call Tabiso in.
Yes,
very
chicken. Tabiso, you know it. Let's go for this one. That was Tabiso's one.
Must I grab it myself?
Good Hope soy milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
There we go, Tabiso. Come, my darling. Come, my darling.
Made with love, eh? Massage
Taste?
bite.
Go straight for it, man. It was made with love.
It's good stuff, huh?
Very nice.
Carl,
It's creamy,
taste.
it's very nice. Thanks,
I thought you were going to feed me like you did Tabiso. Clearly, there's no quality.
But also, Leanne, you can't just like have me have one bite and then thanks for coming. You can leave now. Like,
You can leave
can
now?
I have, no.
Oh, you want more?
Please.
Ooh, hongerte.
It's so good.
It's nice, no?
It's so
Well
good.
done.
You can take the whole one.
I'll feed myself now.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Clover to 33728.
So
I
good.
also want to taste.
Yeah, go for it.
Who's got what it takes to shine on Expresso? Your favorite breakfast show is searching for new presenters, and it's your time to shine with Orbit Gum.
Own it with Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
In thrilling weekly challenges, who will stand, who will stumble, and who will win the right to bring you the best of breakfast television. It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
We will turn your guilt.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstar.co.za.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso and SABC3, and I must just say, you are still reeling after the Thai flavors of that beautiful satay.
Really nice.
I can hear it. But the thing is, if you have Thai flavor, you should get some Thai flavor, because Thailand doesn't stop at bustling Bangkok markets and a hammock on the beach just chilling. That's why Travel Start's Linda Baum joins us to chat about how you can get up to 1,000 Rand off. That's 1,000 Rand off your next holiday. Booking to the land of smiles with travelstar.co.za, because let's be honest, who wouldn't want to enjoy its wonderful tropical weather, beautiful beaches, I feel like I'm there now, and exciting attractions this time of the year.
It is the perfect time of the year.
We're there, aren't we? We're there.
I feel like I am there.
Yeah.
We are so there.
Yeah, you have guys. We're in the moment.
It's so much fun. We are so in there. But we know that Thailand always makes it right at the top of the list when it comes to a lot of people's bucket list, because it doesn't disappoint. But I know that that bucket list dream soon can become a reality with all of your amazing offers. Tell us more.
Okay, look, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, you've just got to get over yourself and
go to Thailand.
And go to Thailand. You know, all I'm saying is that it's visa-free. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Yes, amen.
Yeah. Right there.
Yep.
Visa-free, family-friendly, Rand-friendly. I mean, which countries in the world are Rand-friendly these days? Thailand. It is phenomenal, guys. I got back. I was there in June, and I'm still in it. I still want to go back. You know, it's hence we're doing this one again, because we just are obsessed with Thailand.
You cannot
It's
get
amazing.
over it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you think about Thailand, for many of us South Africans, though, Thailand seems to be something that's around the corner, but far away enough to say, I went away.
Yep.
And you know, obviously, with South Africa's economy, $1,000 off goes a long way. Talk to me about some of the packages so we can get to Thailand. Asableef.
Asableef.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more messing around now. We're not going to say one day we're going to take the family to Thailand. We are going to Thailand, people.
Yeah.
Travel Start are going to get you there.
Yes.
So we are focusing on really family-friendly resorts. You know, I don't want to be funny, but South Africans like to be a little bit fancy, but we don't want to pay fancy prices. Okay, so that is why Thailand is extra amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are like luxury for less. So we are looking at amazing packages that we can afford with 1,000 Rand off packages. So flights and accommodation transfers, we're going to make this happen for you. 500 Rand off flights. We've also got just land-only, hotel-only specials. We've got so much going on from tomorrow onwards. It's like the whole week. It's just Thailand week. So, you know, just go and eat your pad Thai and all of that, and then dream about your trip, and then jump online.
And then get booking.
And get booking.
So say now I've done exactly that, because there's no doubt about it. A lot of people are going to be booking this one. Once I've booked, I've got everything set and ready. Travel starts getting me there.
Yeah, we're getting you there.
What are the destinations in Thailand that I absolutely must check out?
Okay, now, look. We have got flights that are going everywhere, from Koh Samui to everywhere. Like we've got Thailand covered for you. But I want to say, look, we get a bit boring. Who am I to judge? But we do get a bit boring, and we go to Phuket and Bangkok. So yes, great. Let's have a couple of days in Phuket. Let's see it. But then we're going to head off to the islands. They are some of the best scuba diving islands in the world, just outside Phuket. Like, you know, the Syrian islands, Similan islands, amazing, amazing, amazing places to go. Khao Lak, quieter, just spectacular and so special. You know, Koh Samui, magnificent. And then if all else fails, go to James Bond Island, and it's special, and you can pretend you're in a movie. Like, epic. Right there.
Yes.
Right there.
You put us into that portal now, but now you have to give us some information as to how to do this, the booking process, the 1,000 Rand off. Okay. Let's get this started now. Let's be action solution-driven people. Let's do this.
Now, the last time you were in our offices, you jumped on the phones, okay? And remember, people phoned you and asked you for advice. He was moonlighting, and he did a great job, okay? He did a great job. So there's two ways you can do it. You can jump onto Travel Start, and we will direct you to a Thailand-focused page, specific page. Or you can phone up one of the travel agents, which you nailed it, you know.
Thank you very much.
They are going to give you, they're going to find out about your budget, your family members, what the best place for you is. And so either call us, jump online, and follow all our Thailand banners, because we are going to take you to the most amazing country in the world. By the way, amazing Thailand. That's the Thai Tourism Board.
Yes.
So if you hear that word a million times, they've nailed it, because there is no country more. There's no country more amazing.
Stunning, Linda.
Wow.
You've got my appetite set to go traveling all the way to Thailand.
I'm looking for you. I'm looking for your name.
Well, no, you're going to see me there.
That e-ticket better be printing right now.
I'm going to be getting that e-ticket in my travel documents all the way ready. Now, it's been said that Thailand is a sensory overload. Everything, everywhere, all at once. So don't miss out on this exclusive offer. It's amazing. It's exclusive. Book your flights now and save 500 Rand, or you can book a holiday package to the land of smiles. That's Thailand, and you'll get a major 1,000 bucks off, right? So offers are valid for this week. This is Thailand week with Travel Start. Just another amazing way that you can enjoy hassle-free travel with travelstart.co.za. Get them on travelstart.co.za, and of course you can also download their app, which is absolutely convenient, in the palm of your hand. All those amazing holiday packages and deals. It's called Flap.
Oh, so flapped.
We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Go to Thailand, because the time is now. And it is also time for news on Expresso.
Thank you so much, Carl. In the national news this morning, South African soldiers will patrol gang-ridden Cape Town streets for an extra 6 months. President Cyril Ramaphosa extended their deployment to the end of March 2020. The Defence Force was deployed in July to help quell escalating violence that has killed hundreds this year, and that some officials have likened to a war zone. This after the Western Cape provincial government had written to the Minister of Defence earlier this month, requesting that the SANDF deployment to support Operation Lockdown be extended. The South African National Taxi Council says it welcomes the Commission of Inquiry appointed by Gauteng Premier David Makhura to look into the taxi violence in the province, and that the outcomes of the commission will help bring transformation and peace into the industry. The taxi industry has been marred by violence and killings in the past couple of months. Makhura has given the commission, which will be chaired by retired Judge Jeremiah Shongwe, 6 months to conduct its investigation, submit a report to him and make recommendations. Now moving further abroad, Tanzania's President John Magufuli yesterday launched a new radar system at the country's main Julius Nyerere International Airport in the city of Dar es Salaam. It is one of 4 new radar systems the East African nation has recently acquired that will help improve security. Last month, a new terminal was opened at the airport, which is expected to increase traffic to at least 6 million annually. Tanzania is home to 2 renowned tourism destinations, Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, and wildlife-rich national parks such as the Serengeti. The United States has issued satellite images and cited intelligence to back its allegations that Iran was behind attacks on major Saudi oil facilities. But Iran still denies involvement in Saturday's air attacks, which were claimed by Iran-aligned Houthi rebels in Yemen. Now, the incident has cut global oil supplies by 5%, and prices have seen the biggest one-day rise since the 1991 Gulf War, rising 20% but falling back later. Tweeting on Sunday, President Donald Trump stopped short of directly accusing Iran, but suggested possible military action once the perpetrator is known. And finally, what rugby teams won't do to win the Webb Ellis Trophy. Warren Gatland, coach of the Welsh side, believes lubricated balls are one of the ways in which the Six Nation champs are mimicking conditions ahead of the contest in Japan. Wales are keen to avoid slip-ups by splashing baby oil on wet rugby balls in training. Meanwhile, Scotland has brushed up their act ahead of Sunday's Wet n Wild World Cup opener with Ireland by practicing with balls soaked in shampoo. And England, with coach Eddie Jones knowing the climate well from his time as Japan's chief rugby coach from 2012 to 2015, have buckets of water on the side of the pitch in which they frequently dip the ball. Well, let's just hope that Coach Rassie has similar plans up his sleeve. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Carl.
A last look at your sporting action. South Africa's fastest woman, Karina Horn, has been provisionally suspended and will not be competing in the IAAF World Championships after allegedly using a banned substance. Horn is best known for becoming the first South African woman to run sub-11 seconds in the 100-meter race, clocking a time of 10.98 seconds. The 30-year-old has tested positive for ibutamoren, a banned anabolic agent. Her B sample is yet to be tested. Moving on to the world of football, PSL side Chippa United has parted ways with head coach Clinton Larson following their 2-1 defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Orlando Stadium over the weekend. Larson, who replaced Joel Masuta, has been in charge of Chippa United for the past 8 months and suffered a tough start to the 2019-2020 season. A replacement is yet to be named, although rumour has it Duran Francis is the next man to take over. And finally, some rugby news. Springbok Sevens head coach Neil Powell was forced to make a late change to the team heading to the upcoming Oktoberfest Sevens after Ryan Oosthuizen suffered a back strain and will be replaced by Sako Makata. The 21-year-old Makata made his debut for the Blitzboks in this year's USA and Canada Sevens tournaments. The Blitzboks will be captained by Siviwe Soizwapi and will play New Zealand, England and 2017 champions Australia in the pool stages. The team will depart for Germany this morning. That's it for your sporting action for the morning. On to some traffic. Here's Tabiso.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wasty. Let's take a final look at your roads this morning here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We start off in Gauteng, out in Linwood. There has been an accident on the N1 southbound, that's before the Proof Plus interchange, causing delays. And as a result, there is bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N4 westbound from Rousseau to the Proof Plus interchange. In the Western Cape, in Blackheath, on the M12 inbound, there is congestion between Range Road and Delft Main Road. The average traveling speed over there is 10 kilometers per hour, with delays up to 15 minutes. And off to the trains, there is an extended travel time of 20 to 30 minutes. That's on the Wellington line due to TFR re-signaling and rather signaling restrictions over there.
Tropica, Peter.
Did it just cut or what?
Oh, their mic is bad. The mic dropped.
Eh? What's that word? GPTUR. What's that area? Like, how do you say this place? Buddha. What is this place? GPUDA.
That's a typo, bro.
But like,
Hoda. That's
Hoda.
You see, I've never heard of Hoda. So I'm like, Hoda.
Sorry,
I'm so glad that my.
Because I'm like, I want to go visit. I haven't been to Japuda yet.
But listen, they must type stuff properly, eh?
Because.
Boy.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean.
Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. Audition online now to compete with your favorite celeb,
And you could join us in paradise
and stand a chance to win your share of a smooth 1 million rand. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Definitely, there is nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. And this year, they've really upped their game. So now that over the last few weeks, Tropica fans have been entering to compete in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao. But there are a lot of other prizes up for grabs when you buy Tropica. For example, airtime, cash, Caribbean tan hampers, guest watches, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, and steam dishwashers. That's more than 100,000 prizes.
That sounds incredible, though. And I just want to know what to do. So let me just tell you exactly what to do and how to win these things. All you have to do is stand a chance of winning is buy any size of your favorite flavor of Tropica, the bigger the better, in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker and follow the entry details. It's that simple. And today we are announcing the second LG TV winner. So please, cue the drum roll. Woo! Congratulations to Nhlanhla Kenneth Mashaba! You're the lucky winner of a 55-inch LG UHD Smart Artificial Intelligent Digital TV. It's a mouthful, but it's even better to watch. Congratulations, Nhlanhla. That TV's all yours.
That's amazing. Yep. Congratulations. Remember, hashtag TOIT9 is still looking for their 6 Tropica fans. But let's find out what Nhlanhla had to say.
I'm so excited that I have been chosen as a Tropica LG prize winner. Very, very excited. Don't even know what to say, but thank you very much.
Yes. That excitement bursting through the screen from Nhlanhla over there. Well, remember, hashtag TIOT9 is still looking for their 6 Tropica fan contestants. And if you've got what it takes and if you want to win smooth fame and fortune, why don't you record a video of yourself describing how you would out-smooth your competition on the island. Then load the video on Instagram, Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag TIOT9 or visit tropica.co.za. Fill in the entry form and submit your video, and it could be you winning smooth fame and fortune in this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
T's and C's and more info if you want to get those. Tropica.co.za is the place to go.
What are you waiting for? Do it. Do it now.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean.
Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. Audition online now to compete with your favorite celeb,
And you could join us in paradise.
and stand a chance to win your share of a smooth 1 million rand. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Now, in South Africa, the month of September is Albinism Awareness Month. Now, albinism remains a profoundly misunderstood medical disorder, especially in society. Those with albinism face multiple forms of discrimination every single day. And during this month, the South African government aims to educate people on the disorder. Now, here to shed some light on the topic, please welcome our trusted multimedia health specialist, Dr. Darren Green. And later on, we're going to be joined by Narcisse Kimbasa, who is the director of the Western Cape Albinism Hypopigment Foundation. Dr. Darren Green, always so good to have you here. Good morning. Good morning.
Dr. Darren Green in the house. Let's talk about albinism. It is something that I think a lot of people for many years did not understand. Maybe it was also a taboo condition. People didn't really want to talk about it. But let's put it into context. Exactly what is albinism?
So many people still have no clue what it actually entails. So basically, it's a condition where an enzyme deficiency exists, and it's a congenital disorder. In other words, it's a condition that you are born with or you acquire at birth, basically. So there's nothing you've done to cause it or to bring it on. And what the deficit actually is the body's inability to produce a pigment called melanin. Melanin gives color to your hair, your eyes, your skin, and we see it in multiple systems. So in albinism particularly, there's a genetic abnormality that codes for the melanin, or the enzyme that produces the melanin. And what happens then, obviously, with the different subtypes, different enzymes are implicated that are required to produce melanin. And then you'll have an absence of that color pigment in the hair, in the eyes, and in the skin.
So in the absence of melanin production, what are some of the challenges and difficulties that people living with albinism face on a daily basis?
Absolutely. So what's the purpose of melanin? Well, if you look at your lips are lighter than the rest of your body because there's less melanin, for example, on the lips. Now imagine your entire body not having melanin. So that means that the function of blocking out and filtering UVB rays, particularly, so sun exposure, preventing that those UVB rays penetrate to the deeper layers of the skin in causing skin cancer, that ability to protect yourself is lost. So skin cancer being quite a high risk. Along with that, obviously, associated medical conditions of the eyes, ranging from sensitivity, light sensitivity, due to the absence of the color pigment, obviously, in the iris, but then also eye movement abnormalities sometimes as well. So, and then you can obviously also, there are rarer symptoms associated with complex genetic mutations, where it can even affect things like the lungs, for example. So multiple systems can be affected.
What are some of the medical kind of difficulties facing those with albinism?
Yeah, so I think everyone wants to know, what's the lifespan? I was speaking to the guest that's going to be joining us soon, and his wife was actually telling me that was one of the questions. And what people don't understand is that you can actually have a completely normal life with albinism. It certainly isn't a death sentence. There's nothing wrong with your cognitive ability. There's nothing wrong with your physical ability. It's a shortage of pigment. And that shortage of pigment is often misinterpreted, and people don't understand it. People that don't understand the physiology or the mechanism behind it then read into it, and there's so many stigmas socially and spiritually associated to people that are actually just differently colored.
Oh, well, this conversation is an interesting one, and hopefully going to leave you feeling empowered with this information and education. Dr. Darren Green is joining us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Connect with us on social media if you've got any questions, or if you are actually living with albinism, we want to hear from you. It's Expresso Morning Show, SABC 3. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, our guest will sit down with us and we'll get to unpack this a little bit further.
I'm Bert Bosch. I'm a musician and actor, and I live in Johannesburg. Come find your smooth fame and fortune with me, Bauer, on Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao. All you need to do, you buy a Tropica, you follow the entry details on the back of the bottle, You make a video, you upload it to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag TIOT9 and tell me why you want to be on my team. And then you could be winning fame and fortune with me on Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao.
Okay. Oh, guys, framing wise, guys, you better drop your tripods down. I'm so excited. Thank you, guys. This is a first for me in the kitchen without a bunkie. So, I'm very excited. Lucian, where's my bunkie, man?
So here it's just.
Oh, look at chemistry.
Okay, there's so.
Same size. It was on the book of the place.
And water. Yeah, so you can just eyeball it and.
Momsy! But that's loud. I'm sorry. I can't be loud.
I'm very well, Chef Tash. Are you ready to do this with me? Hey!
Second Malcolm. Go. Hello.
I'm trying to figure out which side is my opening.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. It's our Health Chat Tuesday, and September is the month of albinism awareness, and that's what we're talking about more. Of course, we're gaining more insight so that we can understand it, and of course, just get rid of all the misperceptions that we have around this particular condition. Let's start off with the question: if someone with albinism has a child, will the child have albinism too?
Great question. So everyone wants to know that, and how many of the children will. So genetic classification-wise, it's classified as an autosomal recessive genetic mutation. So what you need to know about that is both parents need to have the gene.
Oh, I see.
In order for the offspring to actually have it. And not all the offspring will have it. There's a 25% chance, obviously, that, that the children would actually be, that will have the abnormal mutation.
One skin condition or disorder that's been coming through a lot lately in the last couple of years is also vitiligo. We're hearing and seeing so many personalities who have vitiligo. But what is the difference between vitiligo and albinism?
Yes, so a lot of models have stepped forward.
So much of that.
And instead of trying to hide it up and paint it up with makeup, they're actually celebrating their difference now, embracing it.
Yeah.
So there you have localized focal areas, also with hypopigmentation. The mechanism obviously is different. Vitiligo might be a genetically coded, inherited autosomal recessive condition. The mechanism is different from the immunological system. In other words, it's more of an autoimmune mediated process where your body then will have focal areas of loss and antibodies obviously that react to that.
Dr. Darren Green, I've heard of things like an albino dolphin.
Yes.
Can albinism also exist within animals?
Absolutely. You get albino dolphins, you get albino crocodiles, and it can affect the lifespan of these animals. But what's sad in the animal kingdom is that it makes them obviously more visible to predators. You can think about it. And also the UV protection for a crocodile, for example, in the direct glaring sun next to a lake, they then have obviously the medical complications of that. But very sad, obviously, if our human population that suffer with, well, not suffer really, that have albinism, they don't suffer from it, are also ridiculed and victimized and bullied and poked fun at school level already. So you must imagine our communities really need to be educated.
Yes. They do absolutely need to be educated, because albinism is a condition that many of us are confronted with. We have people living in our families who live with albinism, and it's about making sure that you are sensitive to the condition so that you're able to better treat them as normal as you possibly
Correct.
can.
When you look into someone's eyes, obviously, which are the windows to the soul, you find the eyes are often pink or purple, and that the iris, which gives the color of brown or green to your normal eyes, that becomes translucent, so it allows light through, and you actually see the fovea at the back of the eye, which is pink. And you don't know how to respond to that because you don't know what's going on. You think the person perhaps is blind that's looking at you, and then you don't know how to act in front of them. The first thing to do is to ask the person directly, so tell me about your eyes. Boom, open the conversation, and then they'll explain it to you quite quickly.
I feel like, I know so many people with albinism. Is it that we have more people with albinism in South Africa compared to the rest of the world? Where do we stand as a continent?
Good question. So your rate, your incidence is 1 in 20,000 are prone in the rest of the world. In sub-Saharan Africa and in South Africa, we're looking at 1 in 4,000.
Oh, wow.
And that's much higher incidence in Africa. Specifically, it's also got to do with what we call the genetic terms consanguinity, sharing the same ancestors in a lot of our African descent through the entire continent of Africa. The penetrance in areas like Tanzania, for example, you've got in a population of 40 million, you've got 30,000 people that have albinism. Wow. So the issue for me is culturally and spiritually, people misinterpret these people that are actually so special as having magical powers, and in being involved with things like witchcraft and so on. There have been terrible things that have happened in the victimization of people. I'm speaking about, really using their parts and selling their body parts.
Well, we know that many have been killed in many African countries because they are believed to possess such magical powers that if you use their body parts, that you would become rich.
Or that they cursed, or blessed, or cursed, depending on how you look at it. So I'm very excited to meet our guests
to shine
as well
a spotlight.
Today.
Exactly, and we are going to be joined by Hypopigment Foundation, Narcisse Kambasa, who is going to be sharing his personal story as well as telling us more about albinism from his personal experience. So definitely keep it locked to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Dr. Darren Green joins us as well as our guest after this.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
It is time to enjoy Heritage Month in the best way possible through the cuisine that this beautiful country has, and we have a wide array of cuisine. It's just such a blessing living in this country, and I can tell you that we are never short of choice when it comes to delicious, diverse flavors of South Africa's multicultural rainbow cuisine. With us currently celebrating Heritage Month, as I mentioned, it's no wonder we're actually feeling a bit nostalgic about all the great local and healthy dishes we have. So in honor of what makes Mzansi great, we're making a delicious Sasco beef stew and herb amadombolo with Chef Tash. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm excited about amadombolo. It's actually one of my favorites. Honestly, it is the best thing to make.
I think it is the best thing to make too. It's wholesome, it's homely, it's everything South African that you can think of. So today, as you said, we're making a very nice stew.
All right.
And I love hiding vegetables in my stew because children... Yes. So the first thing that we're going to do is heat up our... Oops! I touched it. A little bit of oil there.
Okay.
So what we are going to do is to use this Sasco powder. It's whole wheat. So we're just going to sprinkle that on there. The reason why we do that, we want our beef to be coated and it dries out. So when you put it in the hot oil, it's going to seal.
Yes.
So all the juices are going to be locked in there. A little bit of salt and pepper, always.
I mean, that's the staples, though. It's so important, though. And I mean, that coating is so amazing because, I mean, the outside of it's so beautiful and unctuous after it cooks.
Definitely.
And the soft inside, it's beautiful. Now, if you're not sure about amadombolo, they're actually traditional South African dumplings. Zulu-style steamed dumpling breads served as an accompaniment to many stews. Traditionally, stews are served with pap and other staples such as amadombolo, and that's why it is so versatile. It can go with pretty much any cuisine, and the dumplings are traditionally added to various stews, and it is recommended to serve the stew and dumplings with pap on the side for a delicious and hearty meal this Heritage Month. And we are just about to sear the meat over there in that very, very hot pan.
If you can see here, it's browning very nicely. So what the Sasko wheat flour does is to help brown the meat. So it quickens the process, but then what it does otherwise than that is to thicken our stew. So it's flour, that's how you start your roux. So it's automatically, whatever you put in is going to create a nice thick paste.
I love that though. Clearly there's flour power. That's what you're talking about. It's all the way through on the meat, in the actual thickening of the stew as well. It sounds so good. There's so many other ingredients here. I'm looking forward to getting into them. I see you've got the vegetables come through.
Yes.
But meat is just about done over there for the sear stage of it though.
Definitely. So we've browned the meat. The reason why we brown it as well, we want those juices to stay in the pan.
Absolutely.
We brown it for the color because once you start stewing, it's not going to brown. And I normally put my tomato paste. So this is a very important step to do because it sort of sweetens your tomato paste.
Yes.
We've got celery, we've got a bay leaf, we've got thyme, which is a universal spice.
Oh, it is indeed. And thyme, it is of the essence. And that's why we need to use it sparingly. I know. It's actually smelling so good that's coming off the pan because now you've got the meat juices. It's now sort of infusing with all of the vegetables that you're putting in there as well.
Definitely.
I must say the health factor in here is actually, you're being very sneaky to kids. You are.
Definitely.
Because the carrots are good for eyesight, you know, next year's 20/20 vision. So we need to keep that up though. Celery in there as well, so it's looking good. It's smelling amazing as well.
Anything with the color orange is good for your eyes and it's got antioxidants.
Anything with a color orange. You know, I eat habaneros. Is that fine for eyes as well? Because I know I
not quite
I touched
sure
my eye
about
once
the
and it's burnt, so
habanero.
okay.
You must
Well,
be
just-
very careful with those. Okay, what we've done there is we've put in our spices, our herbs, salt and pepper, and we are going to put our meat back, and then we are going to cover that with this tomato. It's peeled, it's crushed. You can use tinned tomatoes. Easy cheat.
All right, tin tomatoes works as well. I mean, if somebody wants to do a tomato paste, would you recommend that just as a cheat, perhaps? Or do you want that freshness from the tomato?
If you've noticed, we've used both tomato paste and the fresh tomatoes.
Beautiful.
The reason for the paste is that it gives it that extra tanginess and that extra tomato taste.
And the mushrooms have gone in.
Yes, and be careful, never wash your mushrooms because they absorb water. So the taste of your mushrooms gets watered down.
If you are interested in getting this recipe, because I am definitely going to SMS Sasko to 33728 as soon as possible if you want all the steps so you can get Heritage Month going and surprise some guests with some original South African flavor. Amadombolo is one of those crowd pleasers, especially when it cooks in the pot though with those steam buns on top. It looks so, so good. So
it smells like it's been on the stove forever. So we're going to cover this for about 45 minutes.
All right.
And we are going to attack idombolo. And in Xhosa we call it dumplings.
Yes.
So we don't really have a word, so we've adopted the English word dumplings. Oh, this is so nostalgic.
It is indeed. I'm getting those feelings of baking in the kitchen now as well, and I think this is such a great thing for the whole family to get involved in as well.
Definitely. Please do the yeast for me.
Okay, you want the yeast just to add?
Yes.
You want the whole lot in there?
Please.
Lovely. All right, so beautiful.
Thank you.
I've never heard of yeast bay. I've just created that right now.
And then we've got water. This is about half a cup, 250 grams of flour, which is about a cup. And then we're going to put in water gradually because we don't want to over paste our dough. We don't want it too soggy. We want it to hold. We've got ready-made dough there. You can see that it's springy. Please pour the water for me.
You're most welcome. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And then we can go again.
All right, let's do it.
And we need to go in with our hands at this stage.
That is the best part of cooking, though. I think that you need to cook with your hands because it shows all the love that you put in there, the effort. That's so important, though.
Let's just move that around.
So while you make those, I want you to go grab that recipe. Of course, Sasco to 33728 if you want it immediately, because I feel like this should be a weekend pleaser if you are thinking about doing something different on the weekend, or even for Heritage Day that's coming up very, very soon. I suggest you try this because it's fun for the entire family. As you could hear, there's some hidden vegetables, so great for kids too. And more importantly, if you're going to have a little bit of party at your place, the way it cooks, the way it looks when that happens is just sensational. If you want to look at a little walkthrough as to how this all gets together, here's the quick recipe for you.
Amadombolo are traditional South African dumplings. The dumplings are added to various stews, and it's recommended to serve the stew and dumplings with pap on the side for a delicious and hearty meal. So as we celebrate our nation's Heritage Month, why not try your hand at the Sasco beef stew and herb Amadombolo recipe? To get started with the Amadombolo, mix Sasco cake wheat flour, 7 grams of instant dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon salt in a bowl, and add enough water to form a soft, pliable dough. Next, knead the dough for about 10 minutes or until it becomes elastic. Cover the dough and let it rise for 30 minutes in a warm place. Next, to get started with a beef stew, lightly coat 500 grams of beef cubes with 50 grams of seasoned Sasco cake wheat flour. Next, in a large saucepan, heat 2 tablespoons of oil over high heat and start searing the beef until brown, and then set it aside. Using the same saucepan, saute 1 chopped onion, 2 medium carrots peeled and chopped, 2 celery stalks chopped, and 200 grams button mushrooms halved until softened and slightly brown. Then add 1 can of chopped tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 500 ml of beef stock, 2 bay leaves, and 1 teaspoon dry thyme, and bring to a simmer. Return the beef to the saucepan. Then break off pieces of the dough and roll into balls. Place the balls into the stew and cover with a lid to continue simmering for another 20 minutes or until the dumplings have cooked through. Looking for a great Mzansi stew recipe to try out? This delicious Sasco beef stew and herb Amadombolo is very rewarding to prepare, and the flavors will have you reminiscing of home-cooked meals on cold days. Try it and see for yourself.
Magical, magical stuff. Amadombolo, it's Heritage Month. We need to do some things differently. We need to honor our beautiful country. And this is how we do it in the kitchen, where you can share it with many, many friends and family members. If you want that recipe, just once again, all you have to do is SMS Sasco to 33728.
Yes. So we are quickly there. I oiled my hands.
All right.
As you've seen, so that the dough doesn't stick to my hands. Can you see? It's nice. It's pliable. So here's the trick. You sort of create a little, and it's a perfect round.
That's quite a skill. that's the Amadombolo like hand thing. That's great.
That's why you
should have a name
here.
for it, though.
It's a squashy, squeaky finger in between type thing.
Perfect. That actually made sense, though. That's actually a culinary term. You know, Gordon Ramsay says that often when he's cooking Amadombolo on Wednesdays.
Yes.
So that's great.
So we've put them in there.
Yes.
You need to cover with any bake. This is a bake, though it's steaming.
Okay.
It's bread. So with bread, you need to cover, don't open.
Yeah.
And you need to time it for about 20 minutes, depending on the size of your dumplings. So you do the skewer test, and then they are going to come out as fluffy as those ones.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Can't wait to taste. Remember, Sasco 33728 if you want the recipe.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
As you can see, the beautiful thing about TV is that we've made some earlier, but let's pretend that we made that particular plate now, and the proof of the Amadombolo is in the tasting. So, Tabiso, let's do this, my friend.
Oh, man, you didn't even need to shout my name out.
Yes, I have to.
I'm ready.
Nothing says nostalgic and screams mom and home and love and warmth and all of those things than Amadombolo. So thank you so much, Chef Tesh.
All right. Yes, my friend. Let's do this.
Go for it.
You don't even eat itombolo ngeforo.
Yeah, why did I do this?
Itombolo ufaka isandla uthi nje. Uncinde uyiphule uyenze kanje. Uthi uwelo. Uwelo.
Let's do that.
Uthi inyama kancane.
I want you to taste Heritage Day.
Yes.
Feel that.
How is it?
That's it. I'm booking a flight to Hammanskraal after this. Wow.
Thank you so much, Chef Tash. Incredible. Try it. Amadombolo Sasco 33728. Try it for Heritage Day. Try it this weekend.
Delish.
Catch Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesday evening at 7:30 on SABC3, as the first Top 10 Wake Up Challenge continues. With a viewer's choice winner coming in, who will impress the judges enough to stay in the competition? That's Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesday evening at 7:30, repeat Saturdays at 1, only on SABC3. The stage is yours. Own it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, September month is Albinism Awareness Month, and we've been talking about it, of course, getting some more clarity about this condition. This morning, we've got from the Western Cape Albinism and Hypopigment Foundation, Mr. Narcisse Kimbasa. He's here to share his personal story and, of course, his journey with albinism. Narcisse, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Narcisse, it's so wonderful to have you here. I know you do such big work involved in the communities of people living with albinism, but how common is albinism in South Africa specifically, and why is it so common in Africa just overall?
Yes, albinism is a rare genetic condition that is actually in South Africa, it's like 1 in 4,000 people has a condition of albinism. And when did some research, I found that some of provinces have more people with a condition of albinism than others. So actually, it's only expert on genetic maybe may explain deeper on what is the reason, but as is a genetic condition that is related and a inheritance condition, so it might happen that some region, more people have a condition of albinism than other provinces. You might find, for instance, in Western Cape, 1 in 4,000 people has a condition of albinism. But if you go deep in Free State, you may find that 1 in 2,000 people can have a condition of albinism.
Wow. What's your experience been like living with albinism? What have been some of the challenges that you faced?
That is quite a great question, because the challenges goes from the family to the school to workplace. And starting from the family, generally, you are born in a family where both parents has a condition, are pigment, which they don't have a condition of albinism. And my personal experience is that I was not only lucky, but maybe I was blessed and privileged to be the second person born with a condition of albinism, which means that my parent went through the first child that has a condition of albinism. And having the second child with a condition of albinism, they start understanding what are the challenges that you go through. But it's very tough when you are the first person born with a condition of albinism in your family. And then my brother that was the first born with a condition of albinism actually take me through, and then he explained to me that his experience was quite tough because the family has to understand what is it, and not a single doctor at that time or nurse could explain better, because in those years it was quite not easier. There were no awareness, and there were no facilities or reading that parent can go and have access. So his experience was quite difficult, but one point was sure that my parent, especially the father, was educated, and then he started reading and found out what is about. And in that instance, he had the support of a mother, because the mother was a Christian, a believer. So she believed that God never made a mistake. If there is a child is a child, regardless of a color or what. So in that instance, my mother took a step to say that he will provide everything for the child to go to school and study. And then my first brother that has a condition of albinism, actually when he started school, the first challenge was no one could understand the condition, because sometimes you go to mainstream, so he didn't go to special school, he went to mainstream, and it was a challenge. But as parents stood, like I said, the challenge starts with a family. If you have a family system support, you will overcome those challenges. But if a family is afraid on unknown, because it's a situation that for many families they're afraid for the genetic condition. So my mother took the step to say, I will stand for, and then I will be proud to take this child everywhere I will go. And that was a strong message in her community, because she carried the child with pride, and then that boosted the confidence of my brother. And then he was very brilliant, and that he made my life very easier. In the time that I was born, everyone knew that, it's possible to raise a child with albinism with no problem, and that's why I was very, like I said, lucky or privileged or blessed to be in that family. And for me, it was a blessing to have such mother, because she gave everything that could make my life very easier. And from school, she always need to put everything on standby to go to explain to the teacher that this child will need a handout. This child cannot see on the board. Can you assist this child? So that facilities, that support from the family, it's a boost for the child. Because when you hit the grade 1, you had a challenge of no one understand, and they call you names, they call you names. Bullying, They call you names, and because in the classroom, for instance, even it's 40 or 50 or 45 or 30, you are only, sometimes in the whole school, you are only the person that is different to everyone. So it's not easy to cope, even to have a friend, but I said the family for me, it what makes my life easy. And then I didn't actually at some stage see my color. because I only relate to everyone as normal, and then that's why it was really free for me to do everything that I would like to do, even to go far as I can on my study and so on.
Yeah, it just shows you the power of the family unit, because that's where it really starts.
Yes.
The families really have the power and the key to be able to educate everyone around them in the communities, from school to the different other community members out there. We are talking Albinism Awareness Month here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're joined by Dr. Darren Green and Narcisse Kimbasa, who is the author and director of the Western Cape Albinism and Hypopigment Foundation, Narcisse Kimbasa, and he's got such an incredible story that he's been sharing with us. This conversation goes on, though.
Yes, we are debunking myths around albinism after the break.
My name is Pesi Khivazi. I'm a TV presenter. You might recognize me from Selimatunzi. I'm also an actor, model, and everything awesome. I can't wait to be on the island. I've never been on an island like this before. I just want to swim and be there for as long as I possibly can, which means I am definitely going to win this one. Mango peach is my favorite flavor simply because it takes me back to when I was a child and I used to get it on occasion, but now I can have it all the time. To join me on the island to find fame and fortune, all you have to do is go buy yourself a bottle of Tropica and follow all the entry details. Take a video of yourself explaining why you would be my ideal partner. All you have to do is hashtag TIOT9 and upload that on all of your social media platforms. When you send your audition clip, remember to always remain confident and know exactly what you want to say. And me and you could be on the island together competing to win R1 million. Join me on the island and come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure, Carousel.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3 on a beautiful Tuesday, the 17th of September. Of course, we are deep in the month of albinism awareness, and it's all about shining the spotlight on this skin condition or this pigment condition and trying to educate ourselves and understand people living with it better. And we are joined by Dr. Darren Green. And of course, earlier on, we introduced you to our guest, Narcisse Kimbasa, who is an author and the director of the Western Cape Albinism and Hypopigment Foundation. We've asked you you to connect with us on social media as well. And we've seen an incredible amount of comments and messages that have come through. And we've got one.
Exactly. This one coming through from a Refilwe who says, people with albinism most like to exclude themselves from society because of discrimination. How can we make them understand that they are just like anyone else and that we love them just the way that they are? Narcis?
Yeah, okay. I don't think so is a deliberate decision to exclude themselves. But like I said, the tuning point is the family.
Yes.
And that's why even in my book I insisted really much on the role of a family. Because if a family understands the condition of albinism, they will be proud to realize that a child is a child, regardless of a condition. And then is a manageable condition.
Absolutely.
And that is quite interesting because albinism is compared to other conditions. I will not go deep, but albinism is a manageable condition. It's a stay away of the sun, some hours, and manage the eyes. And that makes the family to understand that if you take care of a child as a child, regardless of a condition, the child will have a confidence. And that's why, as a person with a condition of albinism, we try as much we can maybe to project in the sense that we will help others to understand that there is nothing actually can stop them to do what they want to do. Because for many parents, they keep a child indoors and they're afraid to take the child out in the public because they realize that people will laugh at them. What happened? Why you have this child, but you are black? Maybe you had intercourse with a white person. Maybe it's those reality and myth that put the child in low esteem. And because you grow up in a family that doesn't want to take you out there in the public, and it will be difficult for you, even at late stage or even when you grow, to be confident or to go out or talk or stand for. And then for my experience, I think it's not many people had that privilege. And then for today, that when I do the work part-time on the organization, I realize that many parents ask you those questions. I have a child with albinism, what can I do? But it's a child. How can you ask a question, I have a child with albinism, what can I do? But if it's a child, it's a child. Start firstly considering a child as a child. And then from there, you have a support group and understand what you need. But for many parents, it's a shock. It's understandable. That's why today, this privilege of raising awareness maybe might help potential parents to realize that if it happens, because the probability is not given that you will give birth to a child with a condition. But even those who gave birth to a child with didn't expect. But they have to adjust at that moment how to take care of a child, how to respond to the situation, how to be proud of their child. And all those makes a child to grow in an environment that boosts their confidence. And today, with many albinism organizations across the country and the continent, we realize that more and more people with a condition of albinism that can stand and promote. For instance, my book is in many countries. I managed to promote the book across the social media and so on in many countries. And that is, it's for some parents. When I was launching the book in Pretoria, one parent actually asked me to say, wow, it's impressive because I can relate. I have a child with a condition of albinism. But the way you stand, the way you speak, you feel free. There is nothing stop you to realize that you have a condition of albinism. And that actually will help many parents to realize that you can be proud of your child. And give a child the best opportunity that he can as a child.
Narcis, the work that you do with the Western Cape Albinism and Hypopigment Foundation is absolutely incredible. And it's good to see that there are foundations like that in the talks that you do around the continent. But Dr. Darren Green, what sort of medical and professional assistance is available and structures are available in South Africa specifically to support people living with albinism?
So you'll find that obviously the dermatologists and the ophthalmologists are the people best qualified to handle some of the challenges that face people with too little melanin, that pigment we spoke about. So often in our government sector and in the private sector, we have these specialists available. The secret is, with the families being educated, like Narcisa, is to get them to be assessed as early as possible, to get the counselling regarding skin care, regarding your eyewear specifically and your vision, to maintain it, you know, as best as possible and look after it, and then obviously also to educate the family. So those practitioners in the medical field have that responsibility as well.
And Narcisse, finally, what kind of support groups are available to people living with albinism, specifically regarding the Albinism Awareness Day that's taking place in Philippi this month?
Yes, the organization has some structure in the sense that one of the objectives is actually to raise awareness and support group. And from support group, we found it very interesting. We work with a special school for the blind in Belleville South, that some parent that already has a child with a condition of albinism that come together to say that they can motivate others because they already overcome the challenge. Because like I said, both parents generally are pigment when they give birth to a child, so they know nothing about the care of a child. So we have a support group that were in Kalicha, and sometimes we had in Delft where parents come together. But actually the work of NGO is always about funds, because the more you have fund, the more you can reach many areas, because parents were saying we could even reach other areas, but for limited fund, it's sometimes you can only work in a limited space. But hopefully with all these challenges that the person with albinism is going, many government are aware to put some fund available so that many support group can be available for parents, so that once a child is born with a condition of albinism in the hospital can refer to the organization, and the organization can activate a support group of parents to support the mother that has a child with a condition of albinism.
It's a big conversation that must be had. Narcisse, thank you so much for joining us and for your time and for just the amazing work that you do out there. We need so many more of these stories coming through, because people living with albinism, they live amongst us. They're here, they are brothers, they are our sisters, and we've got to make sure that we give them the platforms to be able to do this, to speak about it. And Dr. Dan Green, of course, always so fantastic having you here.
Thank you.
The month of September in South Africa specifically is all about shining the spotlight on albinism. And so go out there, challenge yourself to go and learn, so that you are able to make it easier for everybody to exist amongst us, because we're all normal and the same. It's just a pigment issue, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan Green. Thank you, Narcisse.
Thank you very much.
So a couple of posts coming through from our Good Morning post this morning, which is related to what makes you authentic. I just want to read a couple through as I call over Tabiso Land. Come sit with me, please, man. So Valdine actually says, good morning, guys. Most definitely my warm heart and my smile. Komachelo said, my attributes that make me stand out in a crowd is love and respect, which is so important. Lucretia says, good morning, being my crazy self and my sense of humor. Leonie, being myself, not impressing anyone. And Wanda saying, morning, guys. One thing that makes me stand out is that I listen more than I speak.
Wow.
Not often found too often in this type of society as well.
That's an amazing attribute to have, to be someone who listens, truly listens to what other people have to say. Hey?
It is. It is.
You can learn that.
Okay.
It's like this now.
Right,
Okay.
nice. I will learn. Thanks, Leanne. Will you put together a tutorial, a guide for me?
I will.
Thanks
I will.
so much.
I'm just going to listen to both of you, Pika, while we say that tomorrow's going to be a great show, no doubt.
It's so fantastic.
Been a good show this morning.
Fantastic.
Been an authentic show as well. And talking about authentic, though, we do know that there's going to be some fantastic entertainment for you on Expresso tomorrow. So please join us. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes,
And,
right there.
thank you. You guys are the best.
Our favorite cousin, this one.
You love him, huh?
I'm your cousin. And I love the electric tangerine as well. And Tabiso, you're back. It's only going to be a good time tomorrow. So do join us on SABC3.
Let's do it. Mwah.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.